Why don't we just jump right into it, shall we? I forgot that that they were side stories, so we can't jump right into the main story yet. And Henry, right? Of course, Henry. Let me look at. Let me check the guide first. I scrolled a bit too far down. Yeah, so you've got Heir to the Kingdom, which locks in Celeste's route, and the Moonlit Truth, which is for Henry. So, you know, of course, we're gonna lock in Henry's route. For some time, Henry happened to be missing. She didn't notice this when he was inspecting the facility and the equipment. He suddenly felt the need to ask her opinion. Huh? Where's Henry?
そういえば見かけませんわね。普段知っていて？僕も見てない。近くにはいないと思うけど。
I wonder what happened. The Apostle's workshop was vast with a complex structure. If she went off on her own and got lost, that'd be dangerous. Shin was suddenly worried.
そういえばエリちゃん、ちょっと様子が変だった。シン、気づいてた？
I don't know, she's probably in heat or something. Yeah. What came to mind was Astarte, known as the origin of wisdom. It also had a dark side that opened and closed the dust valve. Henry was created as an avatar of Astarte. Learning the truth, it would be no surprise she would feel troubled by it. I'll go look for her.
そうしてあげて。今のエリちゃんにはシンがそばにいた方がいいと思うから。しかし探すとなると手間ですわね。これヘルパー
Tina clapped her hands like a mistress of a mansion. Oh my god. That was when Mr. Helper pops out of nowhere.
お呼びでしょうか、マルチナ様。
私たちエンリを探しておりますの。見つけて位置を教えなさい。
かしこまりました。監視システムによる検索を開始します。
As Mr. Helper agreed, it went to search for Henry immediately.
いつの間に手なずけたの？
Amazing, Maltina.
これくらい朝飯前ですわ。それでヘルパー、エンリの姿は見つけられて？
映像を確認したところ、現在お探しの人物は当施設内にいないようです。
Uh-oh.
なんですって
？15分前の記録から個体名エンリが転移術式を使用したことを確認いたしました。
Transfer spell. There was something that came to mind. Shin turned his back to Arya and the others. Sorry, I gotta go.
話を聞いてあげて。ちゃんと一緒に帰ってきてね。
Yeah, I know. Passing through the transfer spell, he was in a cave with cocoons and threads. It was the same entrance they used when they first entered the Apostle's workshop. This was also the place where Henry was born. Henry was easily found. She was standing quietly in front of the remains of an eggshell-like cocoon.
私はここで生まれた。アスタルテの記憶を持たず、ただのエンリとして。
They feeling irresponsible about having no memories.
だって私楽しかった。幸せだったの。シンやハルモニア派のみんなと一緒にいろんなところへ行って。 大変な思いもたくさんしたけれど、全部が大切な思い出。アスタルテの分身である私にはふさわしくないくらい素敵な思い出ばかりなの。
No need for you to feel guilty about Astarte's crimes, Henry.
シンならそう言ってくれると思ったの。でも近頃は少しだけどアスタルテの記憶が浮かんできたから、私は自分で無関係なんて言えない。
It was also your mission to see Soshi the way it was. Can't you view it that way? That's why you met us as Henry. Make bonds and find meaning in Soshi. Those were also the elements necessary to complete the Philosopher's Stone.
縁と断り、私の使命。
Only the truth about Soshi. Astarte thought evil was a necessity. If Henry had those memories or knowledge, her personality would have been drastically different. The way she interacted with them would surely differ from now. And believed that they were able to accomplish their duties with the Philosopher's Stone and the elements thanks to Henry being by their side. Henry was born also almost blank. That was how bonds were created. She was able to protect Soshi with the same thoughts as Shin. Maybe it's inevitable for her to feel guilty, but I see you and Astarte as separate entities. I want you to stay yourself.
ちょっと虫がいいように聞こえるの。
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you wanted to become an Ash team, I wouldn't be opposed. Well, I guess you won't be easily convinced. Shin admitted as he offered his hand to Henry. Hey, do you mind coming with me for a bit?
どこへ行くの？
I want to learn more about Astarte. I think the Apostles' Workshop may have some records.
あ、
I'll say this once again, that I consider you and Astarte as different entities. But if you can't agree with that, I should face the issue with you. You're also my demon partner too. If you're feeling guilty, I share a pain of a part of your responsibility as well.
何言ってるの？シンが責任なんて。
That's why we need to figure it out. Philosopher's Stone entrusted to me, and Anna and Namtar must have some meaning.
そう言ってシンは余計な重荷を背負おうとしてるの。
Bearable because between the two of us.
シン、
Henry hesitantly grabbed hold of my hand. Holding hands, Shin led Henry to the transfer spell circle. Let's go back. Harry and the others were worried, and we still have to research things about Astarte.
わかったの。シン。
I gripped her fingers just a bit tighter. Ooh. Moonlight was bright. The night air was clear. The forest was filled with sounds of insects and the rustling of leaves. It was full of life. It is said that the full moon has magical powers. He felt his heart was released and free. He had a sudden urge to run as far as he could.
あ、
Whoa. Shin grabbed Henry from behind as she tripped over a tree root. Hesitantly, smiling, Henry quietly muttered her gratitude.
ありがとうなの。
Sure.
ここに来てから私、なんだか胸がざわついて落ち着かなくて。
I wonder what it is. Mr. Helper said this was an archive that had the classified information for Astarte. After Enry's biometrics unlocked it, the sealed information was revealed. Inside were some kind of environmental data. The projected images like a map board. I wonder if we can discover Astate's secret if we continue through the forest.
私なんだか懐かしい気がするの。
Is this forest in your lost memories?
わからない。でも
Enry was about to say something, but her expression suddenly turned grim. The forest suddenly changed, and even Shin picked up a hostile gaze directed at them.
私たち歓迎されてないみたい。
I thought your biometrics granted us access.
それと中の状況は関係がないのかも。もしくはこれもアスタルテのプログラムのうちだったり。
Anyhow, looks like we have to battle to go through the forest. Figured something would happen, so we came prepared. Shin put his gauntlet on and got ready to fight any moment. Let's go. Looks like there's a secret here. Wow. What the fuck is that? Alright, anyway. Spirit herb. Wow, I definitely needed that.
有効活用するとしましょう。
Now the question is, new enemies? I can probably guess no.
怖くなんてないわ。いつでも行けるの。
I mean, these guys are low HP. They'll die easily. Don't do that. Oh! See? And I got a crest. More carpus.
どんな相手だって忘れたりしない。
More scrub.
アーマーディバイド。
助けエッジ。助けエッジ。
トルネードスピンキックスプレンダークロス。
Easy.
これが私の騎士道よ。
なんか拾ったぞ。
Oh, spirit liquid.
ふう、疲れたの。こいつどっちめればいいのか。
I think I have all of these ones as well.
アーマーディバイド。
助けエッジ。助けエッジ。
Right? I forgot her name.
トルネードス
On the it was on the right.
大丈夫だぞ。敵の匂い消えた。
Hang on, let me check. She is her sword, yeah. The crest I've had on Namtar the longest, I guess.
ねえねえ、これっていいものかしら。
Alright. You know, this is pretty easy.
恐れたりしない。アーマーディバイド。
I didn't even need to use mana. I can just kill them with my normal attacks. Like that.
私の独壇場ですわ。これは嬉しいわね。
Hey, Sapphire.
身の程を思い知らせて差し上げますわ。アーマーディバイド。
助けエッジ助けエッジ
ホークチャメリン。
よしこの調
Ah,
子
I've
で
run out of I ran out of space for my nightmares.
ここなら安心して休めるのだわ。気をつけて来るのだわ。
Oh,
アーマーディバイド。
助けエッジ助けエッジ
holy shit.
トルネードスピホークチャメリン。
錬金術の奥義は戦いにも通じているんだ。
なんか拾ったぞ。
Uh-huh. Ruby.
やった
Uh-huh.
ちょっと休憩していこうか。
All right.
正々堂々と戦いましょう。アーマーディバイド。
助けエッジ助けエッジ
トルネードスピースプレンダークロス。
もう大丈夫だぞ。敵の匂い消えた。
We're fine. Just
ここで少しリラックス。
after several encounters with pseudo gods, the two safely passed the forest. Breeze decreased as they trekked through the field. That was when they spotted a familiar structure ahead. Huh? Is that the Academy's weather station? Why? The weather station was a facility built to analyze and detect the dust, also known as the observation tower. This should be located on the outskirts of the Academy, yet
私たちの認識が見えている景色に影響を与えているみたいなの。
I see. So what you're telling me is that the writers didn't want the artists didn't want to draw a new background, so they came up with this excuse. Our perceptions, the forest we passed earlier did seem like the forest near the Master's Monastery.
認知のズレ。きっと今私たちが見てる気象台は似て非なる用途の別の建物なんだわ。
さすがアスタルテの生体インターフェース。知識はなくともこの世界のことを感覚的に理解しているようですね。
Mommy, sorry. Who's there? Shimmering in the moonlight, shadow cast over the tower. A massive figure, almost impossible to miss, glooms over the two that trembled in shock.
私は送信アナと月のオリジンアスタルテの献身。もっともとうに形を失い情報体としてのみ存続するおぼろな影ですが。
Yeah, but like, can you be my wife? I mean, Crest. The god in that must be an ancient class.
アスタルテの 献身だったら教えてほしいの。アスタルテのこと、それにこの世界の意味。
エンに教えるのはたやすい。しかしそれでは足らぬ。そなたにはアスタルテの英知を継ぐに足る器を示してもらわねばならぬ。
By fighting. Coming against us?
英知を継ぐ器。
幻影の私を飲め。求めし者されば感じ取れ。
私は逃げない。シン、力を貸して。
Got a gnat attacked them. Finn held up his claws and darted out in response to Henry's dignified shout. Damn. But like, what if I didn't want to fight her? Ah, shit, she's flying. Okay. Let's just do this.
ブラックサーン。先陣を切るアーマーディバイド。
ラッシングブレード。ラッシングブレード。
I'm glad he didn't miss.
ソードグラインダー。
But, you know,
ファイヤーチェイン。
yeah, I wish we got the defense down and the attack up first. Alright, it's Henry's turn to miss. I mean, not miss. Oh, he did miss. There is his miss. Oh! Okay. At least she hit one. The rest of them don't matter. She had less than 200 HP. She would have died anyway. But I wish I got her. Multiple threads were deployed toward a gnat. Soaring up, Henry's shadow danced across the moon. Threads twisted her together between her claws. Circling and aiming in mid-air, Henry placed her feet on the thread. Threads were the string. The arrow was herself. Henry fired herself and turned into a mighty gust. Oh, wow. Amazing, Henry. At that moment, she struck. It almost seemed like the atmosphere swelled. Henry's attack shattered the god of Nat's head and pierced it with great force. Moments later, the area shook, revealing the actual Nat, who was twice as small as he appeared to be before. Hang on a minute.
空間の位相を歪ませて自分を大きく見せていたの。これも認識の罠。私は幻影を切り裂いた。
A color in it.
見事だ、エンニ。
We aren't gonna see her? Henry was about to fall about 50 meters high. What? How the fuck did she get that up there? Shin quickly attempted to catch her, but she knit a parachute and safely landed. Henry, are you becoming more reliable or just stronger?
ここの環境とか空気が馴染むからだと思うの。故郷だからかしら。
Home? What do you mean? To the unexpected words, Shin tilted his head. Then Nat responded in an impressed manner.
戦いの中で感じ取ったようだな。ここがどういう場所か。それでこそよ。
What? Can you explain it so I understand?
シンが戸惑ってる。いつもは逆の立場だから、ちょっと面白いの。
Okay, Henry, just because you know something that Shin doesn't. Henry, stop laughing and tell me.
うん。この仮想世界はね、送信たちの故郷を再現したものなの。正確には送信のモデルになった生物かしら。それでいいのよね、アナと。
その通りだ。そして故郷があることの意味も察しているようだな。
So that means... Question marks filled Shin's head. Henry glanced at him with a humble expression.
シン、空を見て。
Huh? Guy?
ダストに霞んでない綺麗な夜空。星々がきらめき、月が優しく見守ってる。
The ideal world. Ah. You noticed after the mention, it was not easy to see stars twinkling in the clear night sky while living in Sochi. In addition to that, despite not being knowledgeable about celestial objects, he was able to see stars he normally couldn't see with his naked eye.
私たちが気象台と認識しているあの塔は、多分本当は天体を観測するためのものなの。真のアルケウス計画、約束の地への地図がこの星空。
Starry sky is the map.
ヘルメスは見つけていたの。観測宇宙の新天地。植民には間に合わなかったけど、それだけは嘘じゃなかった。
Then somewhere among these stars...
ヘルメスは観測機を送り込むところまでは言っていた。我ら送信は採取した動植物の細胞をもとに生み出されたのだ。そしてこのソシエを新アルケウスの環境に近づけようとした。なぜか。それは植民を諦めきれなかったからだ。
The original Arceus project that was not meant to cheat people. I see. So this virtual world is the actual Arceus.
私、ここに入った時、懐かしいって感じた。いつもより体の調子が良くて、思った以上に動けた。それは、ここに満ちた気を私の体が知っていたから。アスタルテの元になった生物が、星の環境に適応していたから。
アスタルテとその献身である私は、ヘルメスの意志を引き継ぐという使命を帯びた。ソシエを維持し、ホムンクルス種の進化を促し、新アルケウスへと至る手段を探る。人の感覚では気の遠くなるほど遠大な計画だ。故に真実を知り、必要悪をもなす作られた神が必要だった。
That was the origin of the moon, the god of wisdom Astarte. Controlling the dust flow through the valve of the border is only a part of its duty. Astarte was looking far beyond the foreseeable future that mankind with short mortality could ever reach. Of course, that doesn't mean that what Astarte had done can be forgiven. It didn't change the fact that Astarte had stolen many lives in Sochi by purposefully creating the Oblivion effect. Yet, staying in an artificial world was not the only purpose. Astarte saw beyond that, Henry. Instead of stopping and focusing on their past crimes, shouldn't we face the envisioned future?
シン。
After a mutter, Henry quietly went into a meditative thought. Pressed her hand against her chest and squeezed it while asking herself.
この仮想世界に来て、私感じた。本当のアルケウスに行きたい。故郷の大地を踏みたいって。自分勝手な望みかもしれない。でも、シンが前を向けって言うなら、私にとってはこれが。
Sure, why not? Even if for the sake of the villain, the victims of the dust. You should head to the real lands, even though this may seem up in the clouds. This is not only yours, but my wish too. Not because this was Astate's mission, but I decided I wanted to do it as well. And we looked up. It's been a while since she had a bright smile on her face.
迷いは晴れたようだな。仮想空間でしか生きられぬ亡霊のような私が少しは役に立てたなら何よりよ。
And then Shin and Enri fuck after this.
ありがとう、アナと。あなたに会えてよかったの。
ついでだ。契約してゆけ。短時間ならお前の中に眠る潜在能力を引き出すことができるだろう。
お言葉に甘えるの。ここを出られないあなたの代わりに思いを持っていく。
Nat's life data began to unwind like a thread. Henry controlled her nails as she began weaving the thread. Gently held the completed cocoon in her hands.
契約完了。あなたともこれからは一緒。
Yeah, but like as a crest, so like I can equip her? I wish. Just like we're done with our business here.
シン、もう戻る？私、もう少しここにいたい。
Henry? This was one of the few times he heard Henry express a little selfishness. After a moment of surprise, Shin smiled as a response. Even if it's temporary, this is your homeland after all. I'll stick around too.
森の方に来てほしいの。
He was already tugging on Shin's hand by the time she spoke. And then they fucked. Oh, I do! Hang on a minute. Does that mean every route has a every route's got a different crest that you unlock? Uh-oh. Oh, she's good. Hang on. I was like, she's probably gonna be good on Annery, right? Kinda. Yeah. She's really good. I can easily replace Aletta with it. You have to. I mean, it is canon, right? It just makes sense. Now the question is, Black Widow or Alette? I mean, you know, I do get more MP recovery from it. So, you know what? I think I will. So now Henry's got 30 MP recovery prop. What about Dark Nymph? Who? The jars. Oh, yeah. Which one was it? The Emerald Nymph. I mean, yeah, but it's the same. Alette and Emerald Nymph Amethyst. For what? The Dark Element prop, the boost, and the stealth prop. I mean, no, it's not good. The only good ones are the Ruby Nymph and the Emerald Nymph. The rest of them, not so much. But yeah. Let's see. The last pilgrimage. The deepest part of the Apostles' Workshop, everyone gathered once again at the place where they had the final battle with the doll form of Johann. Next to Shin was Enri, and the others lined up across from them. I won't force any of you. Shin went around and looked at each and everyone's face. The journey to Ore is an adventure with no guarantee of return. I'm really thankful you guys all came along. That's why I want to decide with I want you to decide with your own will if you want to continue or not.
愚問ですわね。
Altina stepped forth as she turned to Shin with a provocative gaze.
ここまで来れたのは私の活躍あってこそでしょ。私がいなければ始まりませんわ。
Maltina,
偉そうなこと言って足が震えてるの。
そんなことはありませんわ。これは武者震いですの。
go it is.
結局震えてるんじゃないの。でもまあ強がりでもそこまで短歌切れるのはさすがだよね。
Following Maltina, Arya stepped forth. She waved to Shin and Enri in a friendly manner.
もちろん私も行くよ。賢者の石に込められた祈りを叶える。それが破壊者の呪いに歪められた父へのせめてもの手向けだと思うから。ホムンクルスである私たちが初めてフラスコの外に出る。正直恐ろしくて足がすくみそうになります。だけど
Miss Sonia gripped her hand onto her chest.
ハルモニア派を継いだものとして
What are you gripping,
行
Sonia?
かないわけにはいきません。フランス先生に恥じない自分でいるためにも私は。はい、私たちは多くの人々の助けや導きがあってここに立っています。彼らの思いに応えるためにも私はこの先に進む。
迷いはない。世界の真実がどうであろうと、私が仕えるべきお方はただ一人だ。
ナムタル、カイマだけど、シンたちがあったかいのくれた。だからついてく。ナムタル、どこまでも。
Yes, Namtar.
みんなが一緒なら怖くない。僕はジューマだけど命令だからじゃない。自分の意志でシンさんの力になりたい。
There wasn't a single person who turned their back. Their thoughts and determinations varied, but no one hesitated and responded to Shin with a nod. Thanks, guys. Counting on you.
私たちならきっと最後まで成し遂げられるの。今まで数々の戦いを乗り越えてきた。不安はないのだわ。
Also, Dexter, do we get a dungeon? Do we get a dungeon part in space? Yeah, like the elements of the philosopher's stone. I feel everyone's feelings burning in my heart. I think that's just, god damn it, that's just heartburn.
思いは一つね。
それで具体的にだが、我々はどうやってオーズに向かうのだったか？
Yes. Okay, surely there's new crests, right? Outside of... Surely there's new crests that aren't the robots that we got here.
ではご説明しましょう。
Oh, helper bot. Probably ash demons. Ah, fuck. You're right. The one who answered was the workshop's manager AI helper bot. They all turned to look at the cube-shaped symbol that rose from the floor.
皆さんにはこれよりここにあるカプセルに入ってもらいます。カプセルの中で今ある体は人工冬眠の状態で保存されることになります。
新しい体が大津側にあるもう一つの工房で作られるのよね。
そうですね。カプセルの中で読み取った遺伝子情報をもとに寸分たがわぬ容姿、能力の肉体が生成されます。
その肉体に意識を移せば、私たちはオーズで目を覚ますということですね。
人体錬成をこうもたやすく行えるなんて、やっぱりカイゾは神のごとき力を持っていたんですね。
Friend who also reincarnated from a human to a demon partner, but is with a troubled tone.
しかし、ただクローンを培養しても、オーズの環境では生存することはできません。
そのために真の賢者の石とエレメントの因子を使うのね。
はい。培養の際、ダスト抗体の因子を組み込みます。ですから、厳密にはクローンではなく、賢者の石ファクターの神様と、それ以外の皆さんの子を作るということになるでしょうか。
I don't want to be a dad.
子作り？私たちと真の子？
Listen, I
その体に自分が入るなんて、なんだか不思議ですね。
Well, it's just a matter of nuance. It's not my fault everyone here is a female. Shin tried to break the awkwardness among the embarrassed women, but...
無敵ね。
Huh? What?
私と真の子がオーズに立つ。向かうところ敵なしに決まっているわ。
Hang on a minute. What are you saying, Celeste? Yeah, sure.
セレス？急に何を言い出しますの？
Blush. Celeste's face turned bright red, seeing that everyone picked up her point after hanging around her long enough.
セレス、なんかいいことを言おうとして、滑ったんだね。
滑った？転んだか？
Nepta, you're too innocent.
大丈夫ですよ、セレスさん。シン君との絆を言いたかったんですよね。ちゃんと伝わっていますから。
Yeah, the bond. You know, the same bond that everyone here shares, including Nepta. Oh, hello, St. Quartz.
改めて説明されると余計恥ずかしく。
Oh, Celeste. Covering her flushed face, Celeste ran toward the capsules.
貴様のせいだぞ、シン。姫様を恥ずかしめて。
She's the one who talked about baby. Huh? But I didn't do anything.
はあ、こんな時に緊張感がないんですのね。仕方ありませんわ。私たちも行きましょう。
Dasha's just jealous she won't get my baby.
でもまだ人体錬成の説明が残ってたんじゃ。
いえ、必須の説明は終わりました。細かな設定や制御はこちらでやりますので、皆さんはカプセルの中に入っていただくだけで大丈夫ですよ。
そうなんだ。ということは。
はい。皆さんさえよろしければ、いつでも始められます。
Alright. They all looked at each other and nodded. They confirmed all their wills earlier. Going after Celeste, they all approached the capsule with Shin leading the way. Celeste, guys, let's all start.
そうね。いつでも。
Celeste nodded after regaining her composure. Shin smiled at her flushed face. Like Celeste says, we're invincible. Whether it's the heinous god Astarte or the crack on the border, we'll never lose.
その息よ。みんなでソシエを救う
You're
のだわ。
breaking the fourth wall, Shin. You shouldn't be telling all of them that they're main characters, so they'll never die.
そしてまたここに戻ってこよう。
These playable characters can't die. Right. Shin held his hand out as his friends all placed theirs on top. Of course, Celeste joined and nodded to him with a refreshed look. What about Albert? He doesn't count. He was too old, you know.
そういえばそこのあなた、義手をしていますね。クローンを培養する際、欠損した腕を再生しますが、よろしいですか？
いや、その必要はない。私の左腕はこのままでいい。
No, that wasn't a suggestion, Sasha. You will get your left hand back.
いいのサーシャ。なんでだ？
今やこの義手は私の腕同然だからな。本物の腕より頼りになる。戦いには必須と言っていい。
そう言ってもらえるのは制作を手伝った身としては嬉しいけど。
ああ、君には感謝している。おかげでソシエの敵をこの腕でぶちのめせるのだからな。
サーシャ、分かったわ。頼りにしてる。
Celeste looked at Sasha, worried, but soon gave up. Nodding to Sasha, who was determined, she headed to the capsule again.
では皆さん、それぞれカプセルの中へ。体を横にしてリラックスしてください。後戻りはできませんよ。いいですね。
Yeah, help a bot. Please take care of it.
また後でね、みんな。
After a brief goodbye, Shin entered the capsule. He relaxed. The inside of the capsule was designed with the physical structure in mind, and was comfortable to sleep on. As the shutters closed, it created an airtight space. The gas gushed out immediately as the temperature dropped rapidly. But they only felt the cold for a short time. Soon, drowsiness overtook him as Shin closed his eyes and gave into sleep. Sense of gravity was lost, and felt like they were being tossed into the darkness of the void. I mean, you know, in a vague, short yet long time, Shin floated up and down as he had a dream. The dream had fragments of the memories of his life. Wow, it's the CG with all of the characters instead of having one of Enri in awkwardly being the only one in the corner, or Celeste awkwardly being in the corner. At least Arya was in the middle, so she looked more. It made more sense, but you know, the others looked awkward. It was like a flashback. So he thought his consciousness was also melted into the darkness. Eventually, everything got filled in and flashbang. Ugh. That's the first time we see the Anna CG in color. Yeah. Suddenly, Shin noticed noticed his own awakening. His body was lying awake, but his mind couldn't keep up. It was a weird feeling. No, that was when his mind and body finally connected. Reflexively, he took a deep breath. The cultivation liquid that filled the capsule flowed into his airway, causing him to choke. Cough. This is ore? The shutters on the capsule were open. The console showed the cultivation was complete. And the timer indicated some time had passed. Raising his still heavy body, Shin crawled out of the capsule. Suddenly, he felt a chill. It's freezing. Body temperature control wasn't functioning properly. His body was cold and his limbs began to shiver. Shin's teeth chattered as he searched for something to wear and found some clothes on a hanger by the capsule that looked identical to what he wore earlier. It's the same? No, it's new. I don't get how this works, but it replicated my personal belongings too. It's cold. Figuring he'd do the detailed inspection later, immediately wore the garments. After crouching and rubbing his body, he began to feel warmer and finally calmed down. He opened and closed his fingers and flexed them to check the conditions of his body, his muscles, his physique. Through some tests, his body seemed to be the same as it was before, but it's still a different body. Shin thought that due to the missing scars, bruises, stains on various parts of his body. What stains? First of all, his old scar where the Philosopher's Stone was implanted was gone. You could only feel the pressure of it from inside his chest. Green buffering? I think that's just you. I'm not seeing anything on my end. Hang on, let me look at yeah, no. It was a newborn body that had the same appearance and physical characteristics as the shitballs from Soshi. No, the body that was generated from a fetus to this. Oh yeah, it's everyone else. Upon coming to the realization, he turned to look at the capsules beside him. Instantly, Ari's figure jumped into his vision. He was laying in the tank filled with the cultivation liquid, not even moving a bit. For a few seconds, Shin admired the sleeping beauty's face, but quickly snapped out of it and turned away. I'll keep my mouth shut about seeing her naked. Yeah, hang on, Shin. Listen, it's not like you haven't seen her naked before. Seemed like Shin woke up first. Everyone else was still asleep in the tank filled with cultivation liquid. Is it because I'm the one with the Philosopher's Stone? Looks like I have no choice but to wait until everyone wakes up. I was curious about the surroundings, but exploring alone was dangerous. The image of Ari's figure from before flashed back. Trying to shake off the thought, Shin looked around the facility. The area looked like the same workshop he saw before going to sleep. It looked so similar that he wondered if he really was in a different space. I see. This would explain why the first colonials were fooled. I'd believe it if I were told we woke up from I'd believe it if I were told we woke up from an artificial hibernation. As for the wounds on my body, well, Hermes said it was a quarantine process. What the? Shin turned around at the loud sound. It seemed like something was crashing against the metallic door of the workshop. The impact was repeated, and the sturdy door began to creak and distort. Something is there. As if it was melted under high heat, the metallic door warped until black spots suddenly formed and spread as the door made of special alloy corroded immediately. Tim is familiar with this phenomenon. Oblivion, coming from behind. Flashbang. What had been a door just before blew away with like shredded paper. The jet black dust poured into the workshop from the depths of the soot. From the depths of the soot were strange ash demons. Ash demons of ore. They're types I've never seen before. Letting out an indescribable scream. The ash demons attacked. Shin quickly readied his gauntlet. Gauntlet, blade set. Everyone is sleeping. I can't let you cause havoc here. His first battle with the cloned body. Shin was a bit worried whether his new body would move and his mind would keep up with his movements. But as he formed his blade and lunged at the ash demon, Shin had already forgotten his worries. His body felt light after every breath and movement. He felt blood flow through him, and his actions became more refined. While fighting the ash demons, Shin felt exhilarated. Yeah. Dodging the ash demon's large swing, he went behind them and struck them. Instead of blood, the ash demons collapsed while spewing dust. Even though Shin was sprayed with a contagious amount of dust, he was fine. The Philosopher's Stone purified the toxicity of the dust and converted it into resources. This will work. More enemies. Shit. More ash demons appeared from behind the door. Regarded as a foreign substance in ore, they charged at him while raising a gruesome shriek. Shin quickly prepared to go against them. Suddenly, the enemy ash demon let out an anguished cry as they bent back. A silver blade and jet black harpoon were stabbed in two of their bodies. Celeste, Nemtar, I'm glad that you have clothes on. It would have been a shame if you immediately started attacking them so that... That's reassuring. One of the two. They slayed the ash demons in the workshop. Despite just waking up, their movements were like how they were, like they always were. They worked in perfect coordination to annihilate the ash demons. Right in a moment, Shin quickly started fixing the broken door. Release corruption resources. Set filter on structural material for the door. Commence forging. Yeah, I'd be shocked too. Just visually, if ash demons come crashing in again, it won't be able to bear it. The awakening of Shin and the others started the flow of time that was halted from this side, on this side. With that, the oblivion resumed, leading to the attacks of the ash demons attracted to life forms.
この施設が壊されては、私たちが組織へに帰る手段が失われます。由々しき事態ですね。
I'm sure it'll be fine. Miss Sonia, perhaps her body temperate hadn't returned. Her lips were pale as she hugged herself with both arms. She still had a serious expression as she headed for the door that was just fixed.
か乱用の結界を張りましょう。それで少しは時間稼ぎになるはずです。僕も手伝います。私も。
Shit, I know you saw me naked. Don't try to lie to me. Arya with her clothes on now. Followed Miss Sonia.
シング、再会の挨拶が済んだところで本題なの。
About what we should do now?
シンはさっき壊れた扉を直してダストの流入を止めた。それと同じことを教会の亀裂にしなくちゃならないのだわ。
For that, we need to get out of here and head to where the crack is. We would need to go through the ash demons like before.
だが今の私たちはダストを克服している。困難だが決して不可能なミッションではない。
Yeah, now we're actually immune to the dust. Sasha pointed at the dust meter on her prosthetic arm. Unlike the dust concentration from Soshi, it was significantly thicker. Them standing in this very position was enough proof of adaptability.
結界の構築が終わりました。永遠にとはいきませんが、私たちの目的を果たして戻ってくる程度の時間なら稼げるはずです。
We shouldn't rush, but we can't remain relaxed either. There's no going back. Now that the time in the workshop was moving, it would be hard to redo this task. Once we're ready, let's go. Make sure to check your equipment. It should be a fierce battle ahead.
ソシエを救うための戦い。
I did it again.
もうすぐアスタルテに会える。ナムタルとエンリ作ったやつか。
Who?
どうしたのナムちゃん。
Ari questioned Namtar, who suddenly turned around.
なんか聞こえた気がした。
Heard what?
うわ。
She didn't seem to know herself as Namtar tilted her head.
大丈夫ですか？
うん。ナムタル平気。いつでも行けるぞ。
If you say so. Namtar looked up at her beady eyes. With her beady eyes, placing his hand on her head, Yushin patted her gently. Alright, I'm counting on you, Namtar.
任せろ。
Namtar nodded firmly. Uh-oh.
おやつも持った。
Alright, how big is this place going to be? Surely I'll get new materials here, right? Surely it won't be the same materials that we found on Soshi, because this is not Soshi, right?
私を満足させるものかし
shit.
ら。
Save? Yeah. The last pilgrimage.
お、見つけた。
Shit, we're getting the same shit. Alright, what do the ash demons look like?
この術式で活路を開く。
Huh? Amnesia? What the fuck? Let me see. Oh.
ニードルショット。ニードルショット。
Oh, look at that.
ダスクエッジ。
I didn't get amnesia, I got Black Widow. But I want an amnesia. Not the condition, but you know, you get it. You get what I mean. Ruby, oh my god. Spirit liquid, oh my god.
フィルムメインフィルムメインシンフォニックギアヒールオールステッチ
Alright, give me an amnesia.
使命のためにもっと強くなるの
I'll get it eventually.
私を満足させるものかしら。
Heal up first. And now let's go through here.
これは嬉しいわね
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to wait until post game to get S tier items.
ナムタ
The fuck are those?
守る
Paranoia, not paranoia. Paranoia. These guys look weak. So
アーマーディバイ
they're also flying apparently. Flying enemies.
トルネードシンフォニックギアホークチャネリンホークチャネリン
Can I get those ones? Can I get them? I don't know. They don't look as cool as Amnesia, but you know, if I can get them, I'm going to. I'm going to go for
頑張
them.
ってらっしゃいなアーマーディバイドシンフォニックギアオーバーフィルムメインフィルムメイン自分の信念をどこまでも貫くまで
Also,
こ
welcome back, Dexter.
こなら安心して休めるのだわ
Which path do I go down? Wait, no, they lead to the same way. They lead the same way. It's fine.
立ちふさがるなら戦うしかない。
アーマーディバイド
ニードルショット。ニードル
They
ショット。
really do be targeting Celeste.
フィルムメインシンフォニックギ
ダスクエッジ。よし、
Hmm.
この調子でいこう。
Can I get amnesia, or am I just unlucky? Well, I guess we'll find out with this crest tile. I think. Well, don't we all?
アよかった
It's an Ash team, I think. What about the other one?
もらっていきましょう
The Paranoia. Probably. Yeah, but like, it looks so cool, man. God damn it. It doesn't look. It's not. It doesn't even look like an Ash team, man.
ニードルショット。
フィルムメインフィルムメインシンフォニックギアアーマーディバイド使命のためにもっ
Oh,
と強くなるの
he just died. I got King's Water. That's cool.
怖くなんてないわ
Heal?
いつでも行けるの
I mean, I've got max SP, so I don't need to worry about healing.
なんか拾ったぞ。
I don't need to worry about fighting anymore. Unless for some reason. Huh? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you in all, in fact. Who? Shit. It's a new it's been a while. Celeste has her, right? Yeah. Increased HP. I only had one before, but alright, anyway. Who else? Virus Killer. I have one of you as well. Uh-huh. Who? I would go back. Would you? Yeah, what? To heal? Can't go back though. At luck, not Naka. 110 tech? Yeah, you can't. It's a one-way. I thought you were like, never mind. Let's go. Okay, well. Speakies. Beyond the securely locked gate was a long tunnel. Only the sounds of everyone's footsteps can be heard in the jet black passage. At the end of the tunnel was another large gate. The gate probably prevented the dust from entering, yet it was half decayed, with a hole in the center of the erosion. You might regret this. It's not a boss fight. Shin shoved the blade of his gauntlet in the gap. With the help of Sash's prosthetic arm, they pried it open like a lever. Space! What the fuck is this Morse code as? Everyone was at a loss for words as they stood there. I can breathe here? That's the first thing I'd be asking. The view of reality before their eyes reminded them of where they were standing now.
私たち本当にソシエの外にいるんだね。頭では分かっていたつもりだけど。
透明の容器に包まれたあの大きな岩がアルケウス大陸。私たちが世界の全てだと信じていた場所。コスモの海板を思い出すの。
Don't knock it over. I'm trying to be fine. Just like how they viewed a diorama of the virtual world, they were looking down at Soshi. The lump of rock floated in the void of Soshi itself. The size, according to visual measurements, was equal to or slightly larger than the grounds of the Magic Academy. The diorama of the continent was housed in a spherical container along the glass-like outer rim. There were passages that ran vertically and horizontally while everyone stood on the edge. Shin shifted his gaze from Soshi inside the flask to the void behind him. Was there really once a world in this space? The country where Hermes and the settlers lived?
ダスト観測。ダメ、数値が振り切れてる。本当なら1秒だって生きてられない死の空間だよ。
Thank God we can breathe in the dust and won't turn into ash demons.
大気はあるようですが、かなり不安定ですね。 例の超兵器が作ったというブラックホールの影響でしょうか。
Speaking of black hole, where is it? Even as they spoke, they heard thunder roaring in space. It's a miracle that they can even talk in space, considering that sound does not travel in it. But you know, the atmosphere. There's an atmosphere. I mean, I guess they aren't affected by they are affected by gravity, so there's something. They weren't sure how much they could rely on the atmosphere of Sochi, but it seems that the tilt of the axis was what was causing the abnormal weather. The wind direction kept changing as the dust blew against them with the current. This seemed to be the reason behind the instability of the oblivion appearing in Sochi.
死の世界なんて寒々しいんですの。こんな場所で生きていけるわけがありませんわ。
Well, you're right, you are in space, so of course it'd be cold. Latina hugged herself as if she had the chills.
あんな頼りないガラス一枚を隔てて、私たちのソシエが死の世界に覆われていたなんて。
Hey, don't dog on glass like that. That glass has been protecting you for hundreds of years. It was only because of Astarte that caused... Astarte was the one who caused the crack. It was not because the glass is weak.
確かにゾッとする光景だ。この事実を知れば民はパニックに陥るだろうな。
残酷な事実なら知らない方がいい。カイソ・ヘルメスがソシエの真実を秘匿したのも無理のないことだったのかも。
I mean, you know the saying, ignorance is bliss. This is... this definitely pertains to that. Friends' shoulders also shivered, as if they were supporting each other. Siblings held hands and stayed close.
それでも私たちはここに来た。真実を知っても目を背けず、ソシエの果てからついにオーズへと。
Celeste withdrew her rapier as she raised the tip into the air. At the top of the rim, at an angle that was hard to see, there's a strange protrusion. Looking carefully, one can see the protrusion was a cocoon and was plugging the crack in the glass. Astarte's cocoon.
これから私たちはあそこに向かう。
Yes. And then seal the crack that is serving as a path of the dust. Oh. Really? I didn't notice anything.
これから私たちはあそこに向かう。
And then seal the crack that it was beginning. Okay, bro. You've got an ear for it now. And then seal the crack that is serving as a path of the dust with this power. I mean, if it's in the background music, I don't really care. It only... I mean, yeah, I've heard it a bit in the music sometimes, and I just pay it no mind. I just wait until it gets bad enough that the characters are affected. Jin touched his chest. The mission was extremely vital, but the wave of the Philosopher's Stone's power gives him strength. The goal is in sight. Let's all hang a little longer. I noticed it getting to the voices a little. Huh? Huh? Ah! I mean, like, that's probably, that's a Sate, right?
な
今誰かなんか言ったか。
I said let's do our best.
そうじゃなくて、気のせいか。
Namtar tilted her head. Jin took a look at her face and thought he sensed an odd stagnation of the corruption from her. Huh?
シン出発するんじゃなくて
I mean, in this body, Namtar isn't an ash demon, right? So I was gonna be like, maybe Namtar is resonating with all this dust. That's why she's hearing Astate's voice, but she isn't an ash demon in this body. Yeah, let's go. Jumping out, Shin led the team and began moving forward through the passageway of the celestial sphere. Looking back later, if only he took his intuition more seriously, the outcome might have been different. But the crack they were aiming for was far beyond the cloud of dust, and their minds were filled with just getting there. Wind of destruction blew from the hull of the void. The ash demons that clung to the outer wall attacked at once. The death march in awe was still continuing. To awe. What the fuck? Surely I'll get something here, right? Hey, look, I kept all my SP and my HP. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't need Rosane or I need Damascus Steel. Hello. Goodbye. I don't need to fight you. I already got you. Okay. Oh, it's getting complicated. I mean, okay. Surely if I got that woman, right? Surely I could get these guys, right? What do I pick? Oh, the map? Eh. It's fine. It gets worse. Okay. That's not a good sign. It gets confusing as hell, really. I mean, you only need to focus on the one-ways, right? So like this long one-way here. This one-way here. And then you've got this one way that's pretty short, but then you've got this one, you know. This one isn't that confusing. 4 rubies. Oh my god. You could have just given me 1 sapphire. What? You have to really pay attention. What, in free dungeon 8 or 9? What the fuck is that? The seer. I'm really glad that Chainblade didn't even hit Amnesia. What the fuck? Golden apple branch? How's that growing out here? Alright, what do I get? All liquid. Who are these guys? Yig Lod. Oh, no, Eod. Okay. You guys look fairly weak. Yep. I didn't get them, but interesting. Four rubies again instead of one sapphire. It says 15 hours on Steam for Irosekai. I see. More King's Water. Right. Okay, so I was right that you can't. So you're right that you can't get those guys. I'm disappointed. Also, Cocoon. More sapphires. Okay, I'm getting spoiled with these drops. I'm not getting anything. Most of these. But all of my mana is gone. The big cocoon. Yeah, I talked about that. Okay, I think I can. I think you are right in that you cannot get them.
ここなら安心して滑れるのだわ。
But they look so cool though. It's such a shame.
やった。
怖くなんてないわ。
Can't even get these guys.
アーマーディバイド。スプレンダークロス。トルネードスピンキック。
ダスケエッジ。錬金術の奥義は戦いにも通じているんだ。
Also, yeah, I didn't do this path yet. Oops.
やった。
ロール整理の時間ですわ。
これは嬉しいわね。
立ちふさがるなら戦うしかない。
I don't care.
お、見つけた。
怖くなんてないわ。いつでも
I don't care. Look for any upgrades before doing the boss. What do you mean by that?
見つけた。
Hey! More horns of Crimson Blaze. You mean like weapons? Because I think I've got my best in slots on all the characters. I mean, I could get Black Chainsaw, and the cost would be negligible at this point because of how much shit I got. Do it? Yeah, I guess.
ロール整理の時間ですわ。
Alright. Save. Let's go through. Make sure to re-heal. I'm on the camp spot, okay? So look at that. 10 sapphire, 10 rosine ore. It just does not matter. I can easily get it. Oh right, yeah. I forgot about that. Alright, Black Chainsaw. Who else? Shin has... Henry? Let me see. Okay. I use Crimson Claw for the wire chain, but if Henry's got, I mean, Namtar has the defense break too now. I can do this. I can give her this weapon. Look at Namtar's S. I mean, it's cool. Astarte Wing. Ah, right, yeah. Berry Cocoon. What do you want me to look at? Can you do Namtar's S? I can't do anyone's S. Hang on. What do you think what do you think I'm talking about their their S class so much? Because I can't get these materials until what post game? The next dungeon, I hope. Maltina. Yeah, but I use Maltina's sword grinder. So there's no point in me upgrading because this is the best. This is the highest it gets. Look at the A tier. I've seen the A tier. Also save. Don't worry. I can do fins. A plus tier. And I don't see a downside to doing that. Unless it will do less damage, but I don't think it'll do that. Let's do that. God. Why do you have to use Damascus ore? But save here. And I'll show you Martinez. A plus. I can craft it, but here's the thing. It does not have what I want. As in, it does not have sword grinder. And none of the others have sword grinder. Including the S tier. Right? A plus plus. There isn't one. Yeah. So load the save. But you have to upgrade. I don't have to upgrade. Valtina will be fine. Because Celeste is going to take all of the damage. Alright, time to reheal. Alright. Look, listen. I feel like you're getting a bit too paranoid. The voice was fine. Alright, let's go. A harsh wind struck the group as they went along the passage. The black ink-like smoke surrounded the area while Shin and the others held hands and kept low to stay together. Smoke blocked their view as their visibility was close to zero. But believing Ari's warning, Shin swung his blade in the indicated direction. He felt a hit. A dark lump let out a scream and fell off from the edge of the passage. You saved me, Arya. He thanked Arya behind the cloud of smoke that blocked her face. The wind was so loud, he couldn't hear a response. Deciding not to move, Shin waited for the wind to pass. Soon, the power weakened, and the layer of dust that tangled around them broke off. If we go past here, we'll reach Astate's cocoon. We're almost there. She's getting tired. Arya. Beyond his vision, Arya's figure emerged vaguely. She was holding her chest and breathed heavily. Arya, are you alright? Thank God you're not in my party. Still, black spots began to appear on Arya's skin. Noticing the symptoms of the corrosion disease, Shin was in shock. The symptoms. Why?
ダストに適応した体といっても限界はあります。私たちに賢者の意志を持つシン君ほどの免疫はないですからね。
And Namtar's. Sonia looked down at her own chest as she spoke. Dark spots also started to emerge on her pale skin. Miss Sonia too.
今さらうろたえるなバカ者。もう後戻りはできん。とうに分かっていたことだろう。
そう、もう進むしかないんだよ。亀裂を塞いでダストの流入を塞ぐ。私たちはその覚悟をしてきたんだから。
Arya, I...
自分だけで進むなんて言わないでよね、シン。
As if Arya read his mind, she stopped him from continuing his words.
教会に穴を開けたのは私の父ニコラ。たとえ破壊者の呪いに蝕まれてやったことでも、それは紛れもない事実だから。これは因縁なの。賢人ニコラとアルベルトス、その娘である私が命を懸けるのはきっとそういう巡り合わせだから。でも勘違いしないでね。私死ぬつもりなんてないの。ソシエに戻ってやりたいことがまだたくさんあるもの。
Their homunculi bodies still remained in the workshop in Sochi. Even if the corrosion disease progressed here, there was still hope for survival if they returned to their that body. Got it. Let's go home. All of us together. That sounds like a death flag. Not for Shin, but others. How long do you intend to play this game? Until I fucking get everything.
そう、シンやアリアたちにはまだあそこでやることがある。
So,
生きて
you
いて
know,
ほしい。
I'll probably do like one more playthrough through like hard mode 2. I'll definitely be doing post game. And well, you know, after the story part of it, you know, the rest of it is just gonna be like gameplay. Gazing at the Archaeus continent, surrounded by the celestial sphere, Henry looked into the distance. Henry?
もうすぐなの。すぐそばにアスタルテの存在を感じる。あと少し。それでこの旅が終わる。進みましょう、シン。旅を終わらせるのはシンにしかできないことだから。
Henry pointed ahead. Dark fumes of dust started to clear and paved the way for their path ahead. Shin nodded as his eyes met Henry's gaze, directed at him. Once upon a time, a sage who wished to revive alchemy went on a pilgrimage across the desert. One of them lost his wife to the corrosion disease and was consumed by the curse of the destroyer. The change turned his knowledge into a threat to Soshi, as he was supposed to protect that he was supposed to protect. The great destruction that occurred at the border created the catastrophic oblivion on Archaeus that nearly led to its collapse. The one who saved the crisis was the origin of the moon, Astarte. Astarte turned into a cocoon and sealed the crack on the celestial sphere, which prevented the dust from flowing in. That happened before Shin was born. Astarte's self-sacrifice allowed Shin to grow up and form bonds with gods while traveling to Ur. And so, there it is. Shin and his friends were standing here now. From Ur, they were looking up at the crack that pierced the cocoon that sealed the two worlds. The cocoon would decay from the dust and then respin again. Red lumps protruded out and darkened. Observing from the side, it was clear that it had reached its limit as a barrier.
ただいま、アスタルテ。私の本体。
Raising her head, Henry spoke to the cocoon. Within the strong winds of awe, her voice was strangely clear.
賢者の石を完成させる。力を継ぐべき意志のある者にそれを託す。それこそが私やナムタルに与えられた使命だった。ずいぶん時間がかかってしまったの。回り道をしたち、多くの犠牲があった。私がもっとしっかりしていたら、みんなこんなに傷つかないで済んだかもしれないのに。それでもまだ手遅れじゃない。私はここに戻ってきた。調和の錬金術師シンと共に。
It all started the moment I met Henry. Since that day, she entrusted me with the Philosopher's Stone, and we were fated to come here. Shin stepped forth to the cocoon with Henry. Naturally, a slit was formed in the darkened cocoon. Threads unraveled and tore as if it was melting, revealing the main body of Astarte.
あれがアスタルテ。
What the fuck? She's pregnant!
英知の送信。エンリちゃんのオリジナル。
Exposed in the winds of dust, Astarte stretched out her body, which had been curled in a fetal position. It curled up in fetal position. Like a flower blooming, her wings opened. Her wings must have been a divine color in the past, but were now tainted in a black shade. The tone was very different from Henry's cute white feathers. Give eclipse to this point just to protect Soshi for us. Taking a deep breath, Astarte inhaled the dust. Her abdomen swelled to the point it nearly burst as an ominous curse flickered. From there, Shin sensed the opponent's hostility.
シン。
Yeah, we need to fix this. We need to beat her quick so that we can fix this barrier, or else Soshi is fucked. I know. Astarte is possessed by the urges of a heinous god, and is recognizing us as her enemies.
ナムタル、わかる。あいつ、もう自分を抑えられない。ナムタルの胸もざわざわしてる。
And then Namtar, and then we're gonna fight Astarte, and then after we beat Astarte, we're gonna get to the cutscene, and then Namtar's gonna get possessed by Astarte, and then we're gonna have to fight Namtar.
その英知でもってオーズの闇を照らすはずの送信が荒ぶる姿見るに忍びないですわね。私たちはこれまでもダストに汚染された送信を助けてきた。だったらやることは一つだよね。
アスタルテから苦しみが伝わってくるの。もう終わらせたい。もう耐えられないって。
We'll put an end to it. We'll free her from the endless pain. Astarte flapped her wings once. Just that was enough to surround Shin and his friends with the dust that almost seemed to have its own will.
苦しい。寒くて力が抜けてく。
沈下病の進行。私たちに残された時間も長くはないか。
Guys, please, just help me out a little more.
たった一人でずっと苦しみ耐えてきたアスタルテを放っておけないものね。負けないよ私。父さんたちの分まで絶対。
みんなありがと
As Shin and his friends formed a battle formation, Astarte spread her wings and attacked. Behind her was a massive rock. The final battle was about to begin. In the background, the entire continent of Arceus was in sight. Well, time to try out these new abilities. Obviously, we're gonna start off with Rushing Blade. Wire Chain. Let's do Blackthorn. And Sword Grinder. Okay. Oh. Okay, he didn't miss that one. He didn't miss that time. Henry did though. Divine Iron Furnace. Nah. Actually, immune to dark. Right, yeah, that makes sense. Alright. 2,000 damage. Holy. She missed once, twice. And there she goes. See, Dexter, I knew you were overreacting. Hey, look, I got her element. What, you mad? You're coping? You're seething? You got beaten 2 turns, bitch! Yeah, final boss my ass! You suck! Hang on a minute. Ah, shit. That explains it. I forgot to switch it back to hard mode. Hang on. Let me let me start all over again. It wouldn't have mattered. Look. If I'm being honest, it wouldn't have mattered. Like maybe she would have lasted another turn at most. Moth of the Moon danced into the empty sky. Extending her wings to the fullest, she trembled as a black halo like a lunar eclipse appeared. A wave of dust attacked Shin and the others. With the extreme gusts blowing against them, it was impossible to move. They can only try not to get thrown out of the passageway. Meanwhile, the poison of the dust gradually ate away their bodies. Celeste attempted to strike, but was flipped by a coil whipped like thread and was flung away. Right as she was about to fall into the void, Shin caught her body. Oh, that would have been bad. Celeste, hang on. No, that's enough. Leave the rest to me. I'm the main protagonist. Laying injured Celeste down, Shin looked up at the heinous god. After the fierce battle, their opponent wasn't unharmed either. Shin could tell the Origin's power was growing weaker. So Astarte must be rushing to win the battle. The next wave to come should be the strongest they will experience. If they are exposed to it directly, purification may not be possible. Celeste and the others who were severely drained would turn into dust. But this is also where Shin and the others had a chance to win. Shamash, Kyubey, Apsu, Marduk, Tiamat, lend me your power. Release, you didn't hear that. I'm just, I'm just doing some things in the background. You didn't hear anything. Release corruption resources. As an impact that made his blood boil, stormed Shin. His philosopher's stone screamed from the overload, and his body creaked as if it was going to explode from the inside. Shin grit his teeth, enduring the pain. Voicing his body, he crossed his arms against his chest with his gauntlets on, constructing a spell. While his mind was about to boil over, he released it from both arms, condensing all his resources. He created a fist-sized ball of high energy. Morning star, a star of wisdom shining in the void. I shall incinerate the dust brilliantly, illuminate the void, and overturn Soshi with universal force. Element alternatives. The Heinous god Astarte flapped her wings boldly. The dust wind shook the entire outer wall. The black dust became a super gravitational cage and tried to disintegrate Shin and his friends. However, Gah! Why are they capital O's? The winds of destruction never reached them. All of it was sucked into the highly pure energy source that Shin had created. The sphere grew and absorbed a massive amount of dust, soaring while swelling. It increased its gravitational pull. Spit out all of your corruption, Astarte. Shin clenched his fist toward Astarte above them. The ball of energy was already the size of Astarte's head, like a supernova. It shined and sucked out the corruption of the dust accumulated by the heinous god's body, consuming it. Go! The ball of energy that sucked up the dust to its limit left Shin's control. Even with the power of the Philosopher's Stone, he was unable to control its orbit, and the shiny new star floated into awe. Gah! On the contrary, Shin felt the strength in his body being drained away and was experiencing severe emptiness. While choking, he wiped off the blood pouring out of his mouth. Astarte. Somehow managing to regain his posture, he gazed up at Astarte above him. Aside from the black aura surrounding her fading, her appearance did not seem to change at all. However,
ありがとう、シン。本当に心から礼を言います。
thank you. That voice.
シン、アスタルテよ。オリジンアスタルテはシンのおかげで正気を取り戻したの。
Why don't we get her purified form? Because if we got a purified form, she'd be too hot.
そう、そこのデバイスの言う通り、お前が汚れを払ってくれたおかげで負の衝動が収まり、久々に晴れやかな心地ですよ。
So what about Namtar? We haven't seen Namtar since we got out of the fight. Astarte's voice rang in their minds directly. She sounded almost like Enri's voice. Yet it had a soothing ring to it. Yeah, she's mommy. What do you expect?
私にも聞こえる。やったシン、アスタルテを浄化できたんだ。
Did we?
残念ですが。
Yeah, she's been corrupted a bit too long, hasn't she?
この身はすでに汚染され尽くしています。長い年月オーズに身を置いたため、存在そのものが過信になり果てている。賢者の石をもってしても浄化することは不可能でしょう。
そんな。
I mean, you know, it was the same with Nicola and Cinderella, so
どうにもならないのですか？
せっかくここまで来てあんまりですわ。
落ち着きなさい。私には伝えなくてはならないことがある。正気を保っている今のうちに。
well, you know, at least we got our element.
心を静かに、私の声に耳を傾けるのです。
She was still talking. State, gazing up at the origin of knowledge, Chin waited for her words. After turning to each and every one of them, Astate's thoughtful voice rang.
真、天球の再建にこの体を使いなさい。
Huh? Rebuild the celestial sphere? You mean seal the cracks?
この体に蓄えられた汚れ、今のお前なら触媒として使えるでしょう。
I mean, true. But if I do that, it would mean I would have to sacrifice you.
まさかそのために最初から眉にくるまれてダストを引き受けていたというんですか？
言ったでしょう。この身はすでに汚染され尽くしている。家臣としての本能を抑えきれず、いつまた祖師へに牙を向くかもわからない。もう手遅れなのだと。だからこれは祖師への人類へのせめてもの罪滅ぼしなのです。
Shin?
教会の弁を操
Almost
作
sounds like
してい
Shin.
たことは意図的にダストを流入させ、祖師への繁栄を管理していたから。でもそれはヘルメスに与えられた役目だったんでしょ？祖師へが存続するための必要悪の権能だって。
While glancing down at the group, Sate turned silent. There seemed to be a deep anguish during the silence. For some reason, Shin felt a sense of conflict building in Astate.
私にはこの大破壊を引き起こした責任があります。
No way! That's not true. That crack was made by the destroyer. Just because you were unable to stop it, I don't think you need to sacrifice yourself for that.
いいえ、違うのです。そうではなく、そもそもの発端、人類が天球の檻に封じられたのは私の所業のせい。
Oh, it goes that deep. Huh?
どういうことですの？
栄華を極めた大国バビロン。原子力兵器の暴走が一つの世界ごと国を滅ぼした。お前たちも祖師への成り立ちをすでに知っているはずでしょう。
Well, Shin understood that within the void they were standing was once a land where ancestors like Hermes lived. The surviving human race was led to Soshi while seeking a new life, but was unaware of the lies made by the apostle Hermes. But the way Astarte phrased it was sound like Hermes himself.
笑いなさい。おこがましくも開祖などと呼ばれた哀れな罪人の末路。
Hermes was a woman the whole time. Are you?
カイソ・ヘルメス？送信アスタルテがヘルメスその人だなんて。
ヘルメスはダストを克服するための研究を続けていた。だけど自分の死期を悟って 人格と知識を送信に受け継がせることを考えたの。
Her memories are coming back.
それがアスタルテ、万骸のオリジンとされた影の存在。
ヘンリちゃん、知っていたの？
確信ができたのはここに来てから。ごめんなさい、今まで言い出せなくて。
Henry frowned as she faced down. Henry, you're Henry. It doesn't matter if your base was Astarte or Hermes.
シン、
生体デバイス、エンリを一個の人格として認めますか？ですが、それでいいのかもしれませんね。
Bro has called Henry in a biological device twice. Astarte, no, Hermes, you're...
私は原子力テクノロジーにおける次元干渉から異なる宇宙を観測する術を見出していました。バビロンでは滅びたはずの精霊が息づくみずみずしい大地。
I call her a biological device. I mean, aren't we all? He's technically not wrong. We are biological devices, but you know, that's a very scientific way of calling us.
私は夢中でした。あの大地を知り、そしてたどり着きたい。映画を極めながら停滞期にあった当時のバビロンにとって、そこはまさに夢の新天地だったのです。
It sounds rude as hell. Well, yeah, calling someone a biological device derides them of their humanity. You're no longer human, you are a biological device. Astarte started to get emotional. It was as if Hermes' personality was drawn out from the passions of the past. But her tone started to cloud.
しかし、バビロンには不倶戴天の敵国がいました。資源の枯渇から冷戦状態にこそありましたが、何かきっかけがあれば泥沼の消耗戦にもつれ込むほどの相手が。
Did I say deride? I meant deprives them of their humanity.
上層部は私に新兵器の開発を命じました。戦争を有利に進めるための切り札になるようにと。
This is humanity indeed.
私は観測宇宙の研究を切り上げ、原子力兵器の開発に着手しました。研究者仲間や教え子たちは私がいやいややっていると思ったでしょうね。けれど私は望んで開発を進めていたのですよ。もちろん愛国心からなどではありません。あれは私のエゴでした。
Selfishness.
観測宇宙の存在を知られれば、新たな領土をめぐっての戦いは避けられない。私の大地が汚されてしまう。そうなる前に戦争は終わらせたい。反撃する気も起きないような大量殺戮兵器を投入してでも。その結果が見ての通りです。
Boom. The electricity-charged atmosphere created thunder in the distance. A sea of black clouds filled the sky above the grounds. A gust that sounded like hell's cries whipped up a cloud of dust. Hermes had been watching the scenery the whole time. To atone for his sins, he transformed into a god and remained there, even if his sanity was being eroded by the dust.
わかったでしょ？私の身を案じる必要はない。バビロンを王図に変え、人類を天球の檻に閉じ込めた罪は決してすすがれるものではないのだから。
It's crunchy. It's gonna eat crunchy.
わかったでしょ？私の身を案じる必要はない。 バビロンを王図に変え、人類を天宮の檻に閉じ込めた罪は決してすすがれるものではないのだから。ならばせめてこの身を祖師への礎に、そして願わくば賢者の石を宿した光栄に未来があらんことを。
Starte. The story was reaching an end. Labeling herself as a sinner, Hermes wished for his death and was seeking Shin's help. The heinous god Astarte's body became a breeding ground for corruption. Only Shin can fix the celestial sphere using her remains.
さあ、迷うことはありません。シン・バルト、あなたの力で人思いに楽に。早く、もうあまり長くは持ちません。ダストの汚れが理性を犯す。そうなれば私は破壊の衝動を抑えられない。
シン、どうするんですの？
Shin clenched his fist. Astarte is a god. Staying here would go against Shin's beliefs. But if staying here would go against Shin's belief. But if this was the only way to save her from suffering, his body started to move, but stopped again. What is the best way to go about this? Is there no way to save Soshi and Astarte as well? The struggle in his mind bound him down. Someone gently touched his trembling hand. When he raised his head, he spotted Henry with a faint smile.
辛い役目を押し付けてごめんなさい。
Henry,
これは通過儀礼。もうすぐ新しい時代が来て、私たちはいつかオーズの海さえ越えてゆける。
Henry, what are you saying?
あのね、私分かったの。人と送信の調和、5行のエレメントがあってソシエを形作る。けれど元素は巡るものだから、滅びの塵、ダストにだって調和の形がある。さっきシンが示してくれたように。
That's... Shin watched. Henry spoke. Her eyes filled with a depth and intellect overlapped Hermes and... Her eyes filled with depth and intellect overlapped Hermes and Astarte's. Okay. Henry, you're...
アスタルテは月の送信。月とはすなわちオーズ。広大無辺の闇にも英知は明かりを灯す。地、水、火、風、そして太陽の光。資源の5行のエレメントと同じように、アスタルテにも司るべき因子があるの。
Henry, I get it, right? Even if Astarte dies, she will still be alive in some shape or form, just like the other origins.
大丈夫。アスタルテが滅んでも私が後を継ぐ。新しいアスタルテになって次の時代よ。
Okay, well, that's not what I was thinking you were gonna say, but that's another solution. No, you can't. Impulsively, he hugged Henry. He felt her warmth as he held her so tightly. Fingers dug into her back. Henry's soft body, her scent, her breath, everything was so precious. He couldn't imagine her disappearing. We promised we'd go back together. You have to come along too, Henry. That's what Namtar's job is for.
シン。
Henry smiled as she furrowed her brows slightly. It was gentle, yet slightly troubled. A smile Shin didn't know.
私に役目を果たさせて。もう決めたことだから。
Well, Henry, you've got an ending. And you know who doesn't have an ending? Namtar. No, you can't.
急いで。時間がありません。ダストの汚れが私を染めていく。今度はもうあなたたちを鎮火するまで止まらない。
そんな。どうにもならないの？何か方法は？犠牲になるならヘルメスの血を引く私だって。
It wasn't just Shin who was upset, but others as well. While being exposed to the corruption disease, everyone was worried for Henry and was looking for ways other than her sacrifice. That was when that voice echoed in the minds of everyone.
そうね。皆同じなの。同じなんだわ。執着があるから消えたくなくてもがき続けるの。
Uh-oh.
私と同じ。
Oh, right. It wasn't Astate's voice in Namtar's head, it was probably Cinderella. I think? I'm not good with voices. It wasn't Astate, and not someone who should be there. A chill ran through his entire body, and Shin turned around as if he was drawn in. As if he were drawn in. Namtar.
Namu-chan?
How did he know that the voice that echoed in his head was Namtar's? It was almost instinctive, and Shin couldn't logically explain. She simply stood there, her head drooped down and remained quiet behind Miss Sonia. Her body emitted a haze that was like curses emerging, almost like the Destroyer.
絵画は執着の形。塵に帰る命が痕跡を残したくて似姿を生み出す。きっと誰もが寂しがりなの。だから仲間を求めて手を伸ばして憎み合って。でもそんなのもうたくさんよね。
この声忘れません。貴様は
Are you Cinderella? Yeah, so it wasn't Astarte that was going to corrupt Namtar, it was Cinderella. It's because I got the voices wrong that, you know, I forgot that Cinderella's voice. Plot twist. I mean, I called it, didn't I? I just didn't. Okay, see, I stopped at we're gonna save Namtar, but I didn't get to Namtar's gonna sacrifice herself. Namtar's body began to shake. The haze rising from her body took form and wrapped around her limbs. Like a puppet, she raised her dominant hand. The corruption combined and formed a spear. Stop it! Let go of Namtar! Ah! Shut up! Okay, keep talking.
あなたの望みを叶えてあげようとしているのよ。その娘の代わりに私がオリジンになることで。
What?
ハイカブリ姫、やめなさい。どうして彼女が消滅したのではなかったの？
I mean...
ええ、消滅するところだったわ。体を構成するダストを奪われて存在を維持することもできなくなって、今思い出しても寒気がする。 死とはああいうものでしょうね。けれど私は消えたくなかった。生きて幸せを感じたかった。誰よりもただ純粋に。ささやかなこの願いを皆無だからって諦めるなんて理不尽。あってはならないでしょ。
Well, you know, we could have saved you like we saved Namtar, but clearly you didn't want to be saved.
だから必死でしがみついたの。残りカスのようなダストに紛れてこの体に。
ナムタルさんに憑依して潜んでいたと。
そんな、今まで全然気づかなかったなんて。
無理もないわ。だって憑依できた私は本当にささやかでちっぽけなものだったから。宿主のこの娘自身全く気づいていなかったでしょうね。せいぜい少し違和感があったくらいかしら。私も意識を保つので精一杯だった。娘の体を乗っ取るどころか気を抜くと消えてしまいそうになる低たらく。けれど意識が薄れるたびに繰り返したわ。生きたい、消えたくない、幸せになりたいって。そしてチャンスが巡ってきた。
You're talking about the battle in Ore. Ore is swelling with a high concentration of dust in comparison to Soshi. Cinderella must have taken that power in gradually, right when Namtar was exhausted from the battle with Astarte, and plotted to take over her body, overusing her accumulated power.
なんという執念。呆れるほどの生への執着か。
けれど、その思いを遂げさせるわけにはいかない。
誰にだって生きる権利はあるのに、皆無だからと虐げるの？罪人であるはずのヘルメスの始末には葛藤していたのに、矛盾しているわね。憎い人。
No, because unlike Hermes, you wouldn't take accountability. What? I don't know what you're not getting here, Cinderella. You and Namtar are both ash demons. The reason we saved Namtar is because she isn't a piece of shit. And because she's a lolly. What? Unable to speak back, his expression clouded. What she said was true. Jin couldn't find an answer in him and couldn't move forth.
そんな顔しないで、シン。言ったでしょ。あなたの願いを叶えてあげるって。あなたに代わってこの私が新世界を開いてあげるわ。
But that's your wish. That's why we didn't save you. Stop it! Namtar's manipulated arm swung with great force. Celeste and friend moved to stop him, but the black spear was thrown a moment earlier. Ripping through the air, the spear was headed toward Henry. Henry! In a hurry, Shin shoved Henry's body down. The black spear skimmed past Shin's back and...
これで我が望みは成就した。
The black spear was pierced right into the heinous god Astarte's stomach. Cinderella's voice echoed in the void as Namtar's body collapses like a puppet that lost its strings.
ナムタルさん、一体何がどうなったんですの？ハイカブリ姫はあの槍に自分の意識も含めたリソースの全てを込めていた。あの女の狙いが分かった。シン！
The target was Astarte since the start. She plans on possessing Astarte from after Namtar. Shin looked up at Astarte's main body. Black spear pierced in her abdomen. Her huge body writhed in her as her body began to disintegrate.
ヘルメスの命、オリジンの体が今私のものに。
And she wonders why we don't sympathize with her.
いけません。お前は全てを灰に。ヘンリー、せめてお前にオリジンの剣を。
Henry stared into the void and cried out loud as Shin hugged her. Astarte's body began to spark from the inside and began to crumble. Under her skin was hollow and dust spewed out like an infinite spring. It looked more like ink than dust. The jet black mass that wouldn't let any light through covers and swarms through the air like through the air of awe. Bubbles formed as if it was moving, while Cinderella's laughter became a monstrous sound that struck her brain.
闇の中から出てくる。
That's... what? The first thing they spotted was a massive snake swimming through the jet black air. Giant wings that brush away the dark clouds. With her arms stretched out proudly, the new god of awe makes an appearance. Cinderella, she made Astarte's powers her own.
はい、かぶり姫。いいえ、違うわね。哀れで儚いハイカブリはもういない。名乗りましょう。私はザグレンス。疑心アスタルテに代わる新たにして真なる月のオリジン。
ザグレス、新たなオリジンって。
神としてまず告げるわ。万物はダストに抱かれなさい。決して寂しくないよう、すべてが等しく塵となるよう。フラスコの中でうごめく小さくか弱い者たち、この手で抱いてあげる。塵となって灰となって私と同じ夢を見るよ。
Cinderella, now known as Zagreus, squirmed her lower serpentine body. She began heading towards the crack in the celestial sphere. The remnants of Astarte's cocoon somehow managed to seal the damaged area. Noticing what she was aiming for, Shin felt a chill like his heart was grabbed. Stop! Anything but that! Zagreus crossed her arms. Flashing her deadly claws, she sliced through the cocoon. The threads which were already crumbling, was fragile like paper against Zagreus' claws. Shin watched in shock as the threads flew up into the void. He was finally broken. It was just too easy. The crack that separated Soshi and Or has been pierced, and nothing was blocking the flow of dust anymore. What awaited them was destruction. From the unprecedented oblivions, it will wipe out many lives in Arceus.
ことを。
It's my fault. I hesitated with the starte in front of me. My weakness invited the destruction of Soshi.
そんなに自分を責めて苦しむことはないわ。憎らしくも愛しい人。あなたもカイマに私の子に生まれ変わらせてあげる。
Yeah, but you can't. I'm immune to it.
そして同じ夢を見ましょう。
Cinderella.
ザグレウスよ。それが神としての私の意志。幸せの形。ねえ、今度は受け入れてくれるかしら、シン。
Unlike the time she cut through the cocoon, Zagreus approached him slowly like a tease. Her abyssal dark eyes stared at Shin, glaring at him with her huge face. She licked her lips seductively. Hey.
まだよ。あなたを倒し花を塞げばソシエは救われる。
アスタルテとの戦いでクタクタのあなたたちにそれができるとでも？
この命ある限り私たちは戦う。ソシエで待つ民や送信たちのためにも。
ああ、本当にけなげなのね。今にも消えそうな体でまだ私を否定してみせるなんて。
Zagreus turned around in the void and swirled above her heads. She smirked as she gazed down at them.
いいわ、家庭の話。私を倒し穴を塞げたとしましょう。それであなたたちの未来に何があるというのかしら。
何って。
フラスコの中でいつ壊れるともしれない暮らしを救急と送るの。それが幸せ？守るべき未来？
That's a dumb question to ask. Yes. Like, huh?
もう認めなさい。真実を知ったのなら自分をごまかすのはやめて素直になればいい。箱庭の存続に価値なんてないの。フラスコの中の小人がいつまでも人のふりをしても虚しいだけ。
Celeste shook her head. She denied fiercely as she continued to keep her stance. Zagreus's laugh echoed as if it was wiping out her voice.
だったら証明してみなさい。ソシエの未来に何があるのか私に教えてごらんなさいな。それができないというなら
Zagreus raised her arm and plunged it into the dark cloud of dust. As if she was tearing through cotton candy. Hang on a minute, that's a bad type of cotton candy. She grabbed some and threw it at Shin and the others. He quickly stepped forth and slashed a chunk away. It was like cutting a water balloon. The inside sprayed out and the dust rained down like a shower. Guys! The bodies that already suffered from the corrosion disease were not immune enough to withstand the shower of highly concentrated dust. The black rain contaminated his friends' bodies.
満足に動けるのはあなただけのようね、シン。
Yeah, I'm the main protagonist. Zagreus.
かわいそうに。彼女たちはもう手遅れ。ソシエの体に戻るまでとても持たないでしょうね。 それでもまだ抗うのシン。勝利しても一人ぼっち。未来に何の希望もないと知ってなお。
There is hope, as long as we don't give up.
虚勢はよしなさい。本当は分かっているのでしょう。心のどこかでは無理だって。
Wrong.
もう苦しまなくていいのよ。私が抱きしめてあげる。賢者の石が灰の世界のために。
No, the harmony of elements is a possibility to overcome the dust. Blade set, Dark Cloud, Crystal Sword. Raising his blade, Shin darted forth, becoming a single arrow that pierced the mist of dust. He slashed at the mighty snake god Zagreus. She doesn't look hot anymore. Right as the tip entered her, Zagreus twisted her snake-like body and dodged. As she shifted her body, the crack in the celestial sphere that was blocked by her massive body became visible. Losing the plug from the cocoon, the hole was now open and became a perfect wind tunnel. The turbulence formed by the winds caused Shin to lose his balance.
残念ね。あなたの守りたい祖師へもあなたを拒絶しているみたい。
Zagreus sent slashes with her claws. Shin was defenseless in midair. He couldn't dodge it. He quickly turned his back, but her claws gouged deep into Shin's chest. He suddenly felt a burning pain and freezing cold all over his body. The slow motion effect of his blood droplets spurting, the extended perception seemed to have a thin film over it, and it lacked the sense of reality. Why was there a comma? And Zagreus's blood-covered claws were pinching something. The Philosopher's Stone. The crystal that was removed from Shin's chest was about to go into her hands. The gouge on his chest encroached the stone, barely connected by blood-covered tubes. But even that snapped and the stone was about to be completely torn away from his body.
よく頑張ったわ、シン。けれど、それも終わり。あなたの苦しみの源を奪い取ってあげる。
No, the Philosopher's Stone is the harmony with Henry and everyone.
叶わぬ夢を見るのはもうやめなさい。
Snap. The last tube that was connected to the stone was ripped off. Emptiness stuck his whole body. His body fell quietly into the void. Not having any strength to move, darkness began filling his vision. I couldn't do it. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, Henry. My powers couldn't reach it at all. After all, there's nothing I can do. That's right. I only got the Philosopher's Stone by luck. It's like a miracle that I even got this far. Giving up eases his mind. He was awfully exhausted, and even thinking was tiring. Everyone's support and the approval of the Origins made him think he can save the world, but I don't have the talent or wisdom like Master Alberto's. There's no way I can protect Soshi. Reality hit him hard as he fell. Once losing the Philosopher's Stone, Shin's body was exposed to the corrosion from the dust and easily decayed. The pain from his gouged chest was gone. He didn't feel any heat or cold. His senses were simply swallowed by the darkness. Soon his mind will melt, will disappear into nothingness. But came to his mind was a strange sense of comfort. Henry, Arya, Celeste, and everyone will equally become dust. He won't be lonely. He gave up trying to look at with his hazy vision as he lowered his eyelids. A gentle warmth wrapped his body that lost all senses. Henry used all her might to catch Shin as he fell. His crumbling body was held and was pat roughly. He thought his senses were gone, but her warmth was an exception. Henry, his body began to crumble as the corrosion progresses. Unable to let out any more words, Shin spoke to her with his mind in his mind. Sorry, Somehow, he wasn't scared. If he can die in Henry's arms, he can sleep in peace.
シン、ダメ、眠らないで。
Henry,
お願い聞いて。シンが賢者の石を手にしたのは偶然なんかじゃない。シンだから運命がシンを選んだの。シン。
his consciousness was fading. Henry's voice, who was shouting next to him, becomes distant.
シン、聞いて。未来は閉ざされてない。シンが諦めなければその先はあるの。
Let me sleep. I'm tired, Henry.
ダメ、シン、行かせない。絶対ダメ。
That was when he felt something hot against his lips. The soft contact of flesh. The breath that was blown in brought back Shin's mind. That was drowning in the darkness. Henry was kissing him, holding Shin's head. He sucked on his lips so strong it almost took away his breath.
ファウンダーコードコンプリート。シン、見果てぬ夢をあなたに。
While being connected with this kiss, the whisper was not an actual voice and was woven into his mind. Henry's figure appeared like a phantom from the darkness. At that moment, Shin felt like he was floating, guided by her. His consciousness that was on the verge of sinking in the darkness was sent soaring into space. This is
アスタルテ、ヘルメスが届かなかった望み。遥かなる旅路。シン、意識を私と同調させて、目の前の光景をよく見て。
There's the comma again. Shin was now a single meteor that ripped across the darkness of awe. As they soared even higher, he felt a sense of exhilaration. The stars cascaded across space as the scenery constantly changed.
私たちは今、ブラックホールを抜けて観測宇宙を飛んでる。あの星雲の彼方に目指すべき新天地があるの。
A new world. The true Arceus. Hermes once aimed to go there. He dreamed of abandoning the dying ore to move the new world with the remaining people. But it was an impossible dream. In the end, Hermes was only able to create a diorama of the true Arceus. And that diorama is about to be destroyed. There's nothing left for you to...
いいえ、シン。あなたにはまだ一つだけ知らされてないことがあるの。天球はただ、天球はいいえ、シン。あなたにはまだ一つだけ知らされてないことがあるの。それは、ソシエの本当の姿。天球はただ、大地の入れ物のフラスコというだけじゃない。それ自体が、大きな箱舟なの。天球はただ大地の入れ物の
An arc. Henry. A new image came to Shin's mind. Knowledge of the celestial sphere and the philosophy behind its design. An enormous amount of information rushed into his mind. Shin's consciousness detached from his body accepted it all. The special technology to minimize the oblivion, the extra-dimensional navigation to surpass the black hole. Theoretically, the base idea was proven, but something was missing for the celestial sphere to become an arc. Leading the engine, made by the 6 elements, and circulating the dust. The Philosopher's Stone project. See, I get it now. Dude, this is a plot twist. The real reason why Astarte aimed to complete the Philosopher's Stone wasn't just for sealing the cracks in the border. The Philosopher's Stone was a necessary key to travel to the Promised Land.
Shin, 見て。
Henry's voice lured Shin's consciousness into a distant galaxy once again. Beyond the pits of the void, going past the observational space, there was a mysterious and prosperous land where spirits lived. There? Is it there, Henry?
真のアルケウス。その楽園なら私たちはダストに怯えなくていい。本当の意味で大地に立てるの。
The distance to paradise was still far, blocked by the pits of the void and the layers of dust. It almost felt impossible to go there. But now that's changed. The celestial sphere that was only floating in awe can function as an arc. If they can gather all the abilities in Soshi, it wasn't an unreachable distance.
シン、わかるでしょ？私たちには未来があるわ。そしてそれはシンがエレメントを束ねて希望を紡いだからこそ見れるものなの。
And that only because
シンが消えたら未来は閉ざされてしまう。約束の大地にたどり着くことは永遠にできなくなるの。だから。
Henry, the Promised Land was growing distant. His consciousness flew again at great speed and was being pulled back to his decaying body in reality. With the Philosopher's Stone taken away and his chest gouged out, his limbs were eaten away by the corrosion. Unable to move a single finger on his own, his 5 senses were long gone, and his body was practically dead. However, the will that resides in it was different from before. The urge to vanish, whispered by Zagreus, was no longer there to tempt him. The new hope that Henry showed him was a definite driving force to keep his heart going. I am the Alchemist of Harmony. Shitballs. A hoarse voice came from the back of his throat. Oh, hang on. I am the Alchemist of Harmony. Shinbolt. Suddenly, the pain came back. The pain in his chest and joints made him cry fiercely and bend over. My throat hurts. Trembling, he panted many times and took in the air. Functions of his heart. Filtered the contamination air mixed with dust and converted it to energy. An equivalent exchange. That's the most primitive form of alchemy. Thanks, Henry. And sorry, I won't give up. I now have a new dream.
Shin!
Henry's voice was filled with sobs. Supported by her, Shin managed to get to his feet. Holding his wound on his chest, he focused. Earth, fire. I forgot water. Earth, water, fire, wind, sun, and the element of the moon. All elements symbolize harmony in my body. All elements go around and form a circle. That was the base of the Founder's Code, the final element needed for the Philosopher's Stone that he managed to get while aligning with Henry. Shin quietly chanted the name of that spell. Grand Soshi spell. There it is! There it is! Ars Magna! With Shin's body as the core, The alchemy circle was completed. That moment, light surged from inside Shin. The light that emerged from Shin illuminated all. Zagreus looked down at the group with a look of astonishment.
これは光の大道。賢者の意志をなくした体のどこにそんな力が。
賢者の石は単なる鉱石の結晶じゃない。エレメントを一つにするという概念の結実が賢者の石を形作る。言うなれば真こそが賢者の石そのもの。見えている物質を奪われてもその本質は失われたりしない。
Yeah, the thing in your hand is just a pebble now.
そんなことが。
Zagreus crushed the crystal in her fist. The philosopher's stone that resisted the dust was once able to store infinite resources, easily turned to dust. Meanwhile, a new philosopher's stone was forming inside Shin. Henry's right. Was the philosopher's stone and Shin's existence the same? The pulsating light inside it turned into particles and filled the wound in his chest. And began regenerating his body that was corroding. Ars Magna. That's the name of the game. Shin was now experiencing one of the goals that the Apostle Hermes aimed for and couldn't reach. Henry, the contract of the gods. Henry grasped Shin's hand. He extended. The particles turned into beads of light and collected into Henry's hand.
エレメントの輝きよ。縁と断りを紡ぐ糸となれ。
Beads of light changed shape in Henry's hand. Like a ball of yarn, it spread threads of light into space. Henry spun the threads and wove it to cover her fallen friends. The warm waves purified the dust and spun together with the lives that were about to be lost.
温かい。これシンやエリちゃんの。
Arya stood with her hands on her knee.
私まだ生きている。動ける。
Celeste used her sword as a cane and turned to look up at the snake god.
立てますわ。私まだこんな場所で終われませんの。魂がつながっている。賢者の石の調和の光が。
Altina and friend used each other as support while Sonya and Sasha raised their trembling bodies. No one has given up yet. Surrounded by the ring of light, they are encouraged by their overflowing powers.
かわいそうに。そのまま倒れていたら安らかに生けたというのに、まだ苦しむのね。
Meanwhile, Namtar, my fate and future aren't decided yet. We have it tomorrow to grasp with our own hands.
明日なんて来ない。フラスコの中の小人には永遠に続く今日があるだけ。灰に抱かれて夢を見られれば寂しくないのよ。
Still, no matter how painful it is, I want to see it tomorrow.
本当に憎い人。
Yeah, fuck you too. Zagreus seemed to show pity and annoyance towards Shin. Raising her arm, she prepared to slash all of them with her claws. Shin and the others who finally managed to get on their feet didn't have enough strength to dodge her attack.
引導を渡してあげる。 すぐに楽になれるよ。
させない。
But now, here she is. Suddenly, numerous spears formed in the direction Zacharias was heading. Attempting to escape from the spears pointed towards her, Zacharias flipped her serpentine body, but unable to dodge all, several black spears struck the former body of the Origin Astarte.
まだいたの？ずっと寝ていた方が幸せだったの。
ナムタル、シンと一緒。カエマでも仲間だから。
お前なんて私がハイカブリから脱皮するためのつなぎでしかないわ。用済みの抜け殻はおとなしく消えていなさい。
I'll have you know she's one of the best DPS in the game. Resonating with Zacharias' rage, dark matter was fired out like bullets. Taking one hit would perish the body. It was a magic bullet of death.
アッシュクラフト、アンブレラシールド。
Namtar uses a shield created by her Ashcraft ability to deflect the opponent's attack. Namtar.
シン、みんなごめんな。ナムタルがこいつ連れてきたからこんなことになって。でもナムタル分かった。ナムタルが生まれた意味、賢者の石を宿すために生まれたのに選ばれなかったからだ。アンナはだからナムタルになってシンに出会ったんだな。
Finn was stunned as Namtar suddenly mentioned his sister's name. With her black spear in hand, Namtar, who faced Zacharias, looked more mature than he's ever seen.
シンの妹アンナは賢者の石ファクターの候補だったの。ナムタルやアンナにあったあざはその印。賢者の石を後天的に宿すには素質を必要としたから。でもアンナはその前にオブリビオンに巻き込まれた。カイマになった体をアスタルテは密かに回収し眠らせていた。そしてナムタルを賢者の石の実験体として使ったの。その影響でカイマにもかかわらずナムタルは成長して人と似た性質を持つようになった。
So Anna and Namtar were the same person. Gee, I never would have guessed. The Philosopher's Stone inside me was supposed to be for Namtar, but since I wasn't able to protect Namtar...
違う。シンを守るのはナムタル。アンナの代わりにシンは使命を果たしてくれた。だからナムタルはシンを守る。
Namtar will become the Origin.
ナムタル、アンナの記憶はないけどシンのこと大好き。エンリもアリアもみんな好き。この気持ちがナムタル一番大事。
小娘、カイマが思い出を語るな。
Zacharias was more agitated than ever. He must have gotten annoyed at Namtar, who bonded with humans despite being an ash demon. You're just jealous. The snake god screamed and lashed out in anger. The dark matter swirled and crashed crashed down at Namtar's shield. The magic bullet itself created an impact and distorted her shield. Unable to resist this time, it broke through the force field. Namtar! Poor Namtar's body was pulled into the force field. Finn pushed her down. The force field continued to expand and tried to consume the two. That was when the space interfered. As if it was protecting them, a ripple appeared in the void, and after several severe clashes, the force field diffused.
危ないところだったね。
Hang on. I heard that.
危ないところだったね。
Yeah, that
や
was
っぱり
close.
私がいないと。
Oh, you're talking about the force field. Arya,
我々もいるぞ。
本調子には程遠いですが、休んでいられる状況ではありませんからね。
これが最後の戦い。開祖と破壊者の時代からの因縁を私たちの手で終わらせる。
Shin's friends gathered around him. Everyone what should be wounded and exhausted, yet they got into battle formation. Guys,
やはりこうなるのね。いいでしょう、シン。賢者の意志の子供。あなたがあくまであがくのなら、苦しみに満ちた明日と安らかな停滞の今日、偽りの世界がどちらを選ぶのか、答えを決めましょうか。
come on, come Zagreus, we won't lose. At one point I gave up. I lost hope in my decaying body, and my decaying body nearly returned to dust. What brought me back was the possibility of tomorrow that Henry showed me. Henry saved me, again, from Cinderella. To respond to her sincerity, Shin can't give up again. Not a third time.
愛しくも憎らしい人。
Zagreus descends, surrounded by darkened aura. She was trying to swallow the light emitting from Shin's Ars Magna. Blade set. Shin was calm. His mind was clear and was aware of the spells that needed to be input into his gauntlet. Heated in the ether gear furnace, he forged a blade that will cut a god, extending the red-hot blade. Extending the red-hot blade, Shin raised his arm. This is the end. His will to fight rose. Strangely, his heart was on fire, but the core in his head was cool. His exhausted body and mind were being sharpened by the optimal state of to fight. Sharpened to the optimal state to fight. Before his eyes was the massive figure of Zagreus. Without any fear or dismay, Shin chose the right action to take. Oh, that was something that came unconsciously. In half a second, various memories flashed about. All the experiences that led to this moment became 1,000 feelings that ignite his exhausted body. At that very moment, the final battle began. Here it is, the real final battle. And we got full HP again. Okay. Let's just do the same thing, right?
ブラックサーン。先陣を切るアーマーディバイド。ソードグラインダー。ラッシングブレード。ラッシングブレード。
And he didn't miss. And there's a defense decrease. Oh, full power. Interesting. Swordbuster. Bind Flash. Cross Vanish. They were doing a lot less damage because of the defense up. But yeah, I'm not letting you get stronger. Oh. Hang on, what was her name again? Oh yeah, Zagreus. She's got high resistance in everything. Back. Oh, welcome back. All right, let's do this. All right. The true final boss. Or is it?
アーマーディバイド。
ダブルチェーンブレード。うわ
ヒールオールステッチ。
Okay, oops. Yeah, maybe. Maybe do this one first. Your thought was that Astarte was going to be your final boss, right? I mean, yeah. I'm not wrong. It's just Astarte combined with Cinderella. Alright, now I can heal. So their wills were evenly matched. Alright. This is normal diff, right? No, this is... I accidentally put it on easy. So... Yeah, I knew Infinite Roll was gonna be shit. Yeah, I only realized after I beat Astarte, so... Here, Shin, you can have this one. You think the story is good? Yeah. Depending on the ending, I wonder as well. Oh fuck, I couldn't mute in time. Yeah, give up. Yeah, Namto, you can have it.
アーマーディバイドピアースパイク
ダークプリンガ
トルネードスピンキック
The paralyzer's doing God's work, let's just say. She hasn't. Goodbye. Goodbye, Zagreus. I preferred you in
ア
Hades.
ーマーディバイドホークチャネリンエクセレントターン
ダブルチェーンブレード
There she go.
当
Imagine I got her.
というものですわね。
You imagine you could just get her as a crest. S plus. Thanks for the 100 gold. That's all I get for beating the final boss. Huh? The voice that was neither a sigh nor a moan echoed for a while. Shin didn't even try to dodge the final claw Zagreus swung at him. He simply raised his arm and grabbed her wrist. All he felt was the weight of the massive body, and was not a killing blow of any sort. Shin sensed Zagreus' body on the verge of death.
どうして私は否定されるの？いつまで拒絶され続けるの？
I know, Zagreus, after like however many rejections, maybe you should realize that maybe it's your fault that you're being rejected so much. Faint ink like tears rolled out of her beady eyes. Has eyes? A shudder ran through her massive snake body, and it began to decay. The black particles that rose her were the elements that formed Zagreus. Zagreus, you're wrong. If the dust is part of the harmony, instead of painting everything over, you should have been the one to make a change. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you should have realized it's your fault. I think Ash Demons could have had that. You had a heart that understood loneliness. There could have been a way like Namtar.
慰めのつもり、それとも嘲笑っているのかしら。敗者である私のこと。
No, I'm saying that you're a bitch. Bitch. You cannot be redeemed now. You will die soon. That's not it. You have to understand, Zagreus. No, Cinderella. The battle had come to an end. The wrist Shin held onto was starting to crumble, and the lonely snake god was staring with empty eyes. Everything flows in a cycle. Even the apostle Hermes was aiming to incorporate the dust into that cycle. Why did he have a question mark? Hang on. What if the apostle Hermes was aiming to incorporate the dust into that cycle? As Shin spoke, he gazed up at the celestial sphere beyond the snake god, where Soshi was. The corruption at the crack caused the surface of the glass to turn black and was on the verge of collapsing. Soshi may have been an artificial world, but it was also a cradle with possibilities for evolution. Therefore, the creatures who lived there were never lonely. The people, gods, and even the ash demons are all connected.
何を、はあ、この暖かさは。
Pale light began to form in Zagreus' chest. He tried to hold that light, resembling the glow of fireflies in her crumbling arms. That light is proof that Cinderella was alive. The fire of being, that will turn into a new seed and bear fruit in Sochi. It'll probably take a long time. Just like how Arya's mother, Cornelia, turned into Cinderella, she will become someone else. But that is the cycle of harmony. If the Destroyer was able to carve a curse in the dust, you can put a prayer in it as well. Otherwise, it'll an even sadder. What the fuck? Otherwise, it'll be an even sadder ending. The light poured out of Zagreus's fingers and soared into the void. Floated around for a while in a confused manner, but eventually was drawn by the gravitational pull of the crack and was drawn into the celestial sphere.
憎い人、こんなに私が思っていたのに、とうとうあなたは私を見てくれなかったわね。でも諦めないわ。私が私でなくなってもいつ
Cinderella.
でも諦めないわ。私が私でなくなってもいつの日かきっとあなたを。
Cinderella. The final words were something only Shin could hear in his heart. Shin watched the light of Cinderella return to Sochi. Losing her, the vessel once called Zagreus returned into a colossal lump of resources without a host. Shin purified and crystallized it before it dissipated into ore. The Ars Magna that embodied the Philosopher's Stone made it possible. Shin held the crystal. His exhausted friends gather around.
いよいよ仕上げだね、シン。その結晶で亀裂を修復するんですのね。
それで私たちのソシエは救われます。
侵食現象に怯えることもなくなって平和がやってくるんだ。
長く苦しい戦いだったが、ようやく報われるか。
よかったな。頑張ったもんな。
ええ、悔いはないわ。これで。
Celeste gripped her hand tightly at her chest. Shin already knew. Even if he performed first aid using the threads of light from Ars Magna, poison from the dust was running throughout his friends' bodies. He knew that they were in the final stages of corruption disease and was struggling to even stay standing. Guys.
大丈夫。誰も死なせない。ちゃんと帰れるの。
これは。
A thread of light began surrounding Celeste and the others, overlapping one another, coiled into a thin layer to form a shape of a cocoon.
亀裂を塞ぐ前にみんなの眉をソシエに返すわ。眉の中で魂の情報だけより分けて無事な体に戻れるように。
そんなことが
すごいでしょ。アスタルテの英知を受け継いだ今の私ならこれくらいのゲートはできるのだわ。
Tate once tried to use Shin's sister, Anna, as the factor for the Philosopher's Stone. He simply didn't actively use her powers, but always had the power to control the lives of Sochi and maneuver souls from the start. Using those powers, Henry was trying to send Celeste and the others on the verge of death back to their hibernating bodies that was in Sochi.
待って、でもその場合エリちゃんは？エリちゃんも一緒にソシエへ戻れるんだよね。
術式を操る私自身が眉になることはできないわ。それに 私には亀裂の修復を見届ける務めがあるの。
そんな。
ここに残るつもりですか？
You can't do that. You have to come with us. I don't know why Shin is going to the cocoon. He's immune to the dust. The cocoon thread started to surround not only Celeste and the others, but Shin's body as well. Shin was in shock as he saw Enri's smile directed at him.
この結晶があれば、あとは私でも亀裂は塞げる。
Fucking...
この結晶があれば、あとは私でも亀裂は塞げる。ありがとう。真のおかげなの。
What are you saying? I have to say too.
真にはまだソシエで必要としてる人たちが大勢いる。やることがたくさんある。だから。
No, Henry, I don't think you're getting it. I am immune to the corrosion. I'm not affected by it. Okay, if people need me in Sochi. Henry, we said we'll be together. We said we'll go home together.
うん。いつも一緒なの。私はここで真たちを見守ってるから。
No. What I want is to say is the threads of light surrounding his entire body. The layer obscured his view of Henry. Shin shouted as loud as he could. Please, Henry, if you're going to stay, let me...
真、さよならは言わないの。またいつでも会えるようになるから。
Henry! Henry! Screaming as loud as he can, Shin tried to extend his hand, but even his arm was surrounded by the threads of light. Then the cocoon that gently embraced him, his body turned into light. It was warm and peaceful, like being inside a mother's womb. Okay, well, the sensation was too comfortable for those who survived a harsh battle. Therefore, Shin was asleep before he knew it. In the depths of slumber, Shin had a dream. Aiming for the distant galaxy, one large silk moth was flapping her wings across the skies. Behind her was the celestial sphere of Soshi, as the silk moth led it through the vast darkness. Their progress was slow, and the paradise they aimed for seemed dauntingly distant. But the silk moth did not fret, nor was it in despair. At times, she would get tired and rest in her cocoon, but those who lived on this ark would support her and empower her with their wisdom. Silk moth flapped her wings again as the oddball-shaped ark followed her endlessly. It was a journey to a place far, far away. It was an important wish woven by all humans, gods and life forms inside the small diorama. The dwarves inside the flask, in a deep sleep, all saw the same dream. What the fuck? This is a shift. There it goes. Apparently I skipped the ending, I guess. They must have been sleeping for a long time. In a daze, she patted his surroundings and embraced the soft warmth. It's just a widescreen. Of course it's just a widescreen. Listen, I saw the CG of the ending CG with Henry and Shin. You can't not hide it. What do you mean why? It's 18 plus. The other had a similar reaction. Naturally, they drew closer and felt their warmth spread throughout his body. Just put a guard rate. Yeah, that's all you need. As if he was wrapped in a fluffy, fleshy, dried blanket, it was a comfortable feeling. How long was he like this? He slowly awakened, and his consciousness emerged in a state of happiness. The moment he woke up was when his eyes met with a source of the warmth. Noticing the other had awakened at the same time, Shin smiled at the owner of the warmth, Henry. See, this is all you're gonna get. You're gonna get their faces. Okay, good. This is the best you're gonna get. Anything else, and you're pushing it. Good morning, Henry.
寒くない？
I'm very warm. If we stick together like this, I can feel your warmth anytime.
私もすごく心地いいの。
Go to the CG gallery after this. Hang on a minute. Henry snuggled against him. Shin pulled her over and stroked her head's hair. Stroked her head's hair and feathers gently. I want to know. Okay. I was dreaming Aria Celeste and everyone looked well.
みんなソシエで頑張ってるの。ダストの資源化技術を実用化して、アルケウス大陸は新しい時代を迎えている。
Yeah. Interacting with the gods not only helped alchemists, but also aided the common people's abilities to expand farms and create new industries. They were seeing the current state of Soshi using Astarte's ability, and they had to be naked for this. Shin and Henry were able to get a glimpse of their friends as a dream. It's been a while. Everyone grew so much that I feel like I'm being left behind.
きっとアリアたちの方がそう思ってるのだわ。あの時、ソシエに送り返した日から。
To save their friends, who were in the final stages of the corrosion disease, Henry wrapped the data of their souls into a cocoon and sent it to Soshi. Thanks to that, everyone managed to survive. They returned to their original bodies stored in Soshi, and are now living a new life. Tin was supposed to do the same. He was supposed to sleep peacefully in the cocoon and bid farewell to Henry. But Shin didn't accept that. He couldn't stand leaving Henry alone and begged to be with her inside the cocoon. As a result, Shin was now here. Shin's soul went against the pull of Soshi and forged a bond with Henry thanks to the contract he had with her. Even without their bodies, they managed to merge into Astarte, that merged with Astarte, so they could always be together.
後悔はしてない？
Tired of hearing that question.
でもシンには向こうで待ってる人がたくさんいるの。私だけ独り占めするなんて。
It's fine. I didn't care about them anyway. Placing his hand on Henry's hip, he nodded. I want to be by your side. I can soar through ore as a part of Astarte. We're only at the beginning of the journey to paradise.
旅の先頭？
Yeah, Ari and the others are following right behind us. After stating that, Shin smiled. They know we are here, so everyone in Soshi is working together to keep out the Ark project going. So, I'm not lonely at all. I believe in everyone. One day we can meet everyone in the new world. New world, the real Arceus. Shin would be able to obtain a new body there. The two could settle in the promised land.
わかった。もう言わないの。その日に届くよう、私は精一杯羽ばたく。
We will get there. As long as we're together. The two faced forth. The skies of Or where the stars twinkle beyond the dimension they stare at was the land they should aim for.
それじゃあシン。
Yeah.
意識を同調させて。
Okay, let's go. As if they were heading out to a nearby neighborhood, Shin nodded casually and closed his eyes. Drowsiness hit them again. He'd long lost the sense of time. He believed this would be another long sleep. In the meantime, the two would become Astarte and rip through the void of awe.
シン。
ん？
ありがとう。一緒にいてくれて。シンがそばにいるだけで私、どこまでも強くなれる。今だからわかるの。ヘルメスは孤独だった。隣に立つ誰かが欲しくて、ずっと焦がれて。
We're all lonely, huh? He recalled the words of Cinderella. The reason both Agrippa and Hermes cursed Soshi was because they felt betrayed by someone close they believed in. We won't repeat that. People nor gods are perfect. So connections become important.
ずっと一緒。
Tears formed in the corners of Henry's eyes. Tin wrapped his arm around her hips. The artificial god who flew through the darkness of the void later became a myth. A vanguard leading into Soshi within the celestial sphere, but she was simply soaring with one wing, making up for another. Without fear or anxiety, the man and god continued to fly straight for paradise. The young man and young girl dreamed the same dream until the day the dwarves in the flask could stand upon the promised land. The spring had come to the forest. The forest, which was contaminated by the dust, has recovered, and recently new flowers and buds sprouted, and the number of animals had increased. One day, a group from the Magic Academy doing field work came to investigate the forest's vegetation, along with the conditions of the gods. Hey, there's a problem.
なんですか？
An ash demon suddenly came out from the depths of the bushes.
珍しいですね。まだ生息していたなんて危険な個体ですか？
Well, Hey look, it's Namtar. As they stood there discussing, the ash demon caught up. A humanoid appearance, the newbie alchemist Katua's eyes widened.
あなたは？お、
It's her. You're the humanoid ash demon.
これ落とした。
The boy freaked out as Namtar held out her hand. What? Hey, that's my offering. Oh, you picked it up for me.
久しぶりだな、ケイト。こんなところで奇遇だな。
Namtar headed toward the girl and not the boy, who were gasped in surprise as she paused before letting out a word of denial.
違います。私、ケイトではありません。カチュアって言います。ケイトは私のお母さんの名前です。お母さん？カチュア？
Namtar repeated. Kachua? Kate had children? Apparently! Namtar repeated Kachua's words as she examined her from top to bottom.
本当に？ケイト？じゃない？
With who? With me. I don't know.
はい。あなたはナムタルさんですよね。母から話は聞いています。とても親しい友達がいたって。うん。ナムタルとケイト、仲良し。かくれんぼしたり、たくさん遊んだし、習い事も一緒にやった。お母さん、とても心配していました。ある日急に消えてしまって、どこかに行ってしまったって。ナムタル、ちょっと旅に出てて、
There was no lie in Namtar's words, but there was a small deception. Every day was life without Shin and Enri. She felt every day was life without. She felt awkward living in human society as an ash demon. But Kate was nice to her, and Arya and Celeste treated her well, but she had no complaints. Time was moving steadily. While Namtar was waiting for Shin and Enri to return, time continued to change her surroundings, and Kate became an adult. It'd be a lie if she said she didn't feel the pain of being left behind. Well, that was why Namtar tried to take Shin and Enri by herself. It was difficult for Namtar to go beyond the boundary by herself. Following the old path over, she tried to trace her memories. After getting bored of that, she began wandering aimlessly. There were times when she stayed with Origin, Kyubey, and Tiamat, and but in the end, she sought the image of Shin and ran away like a carefree cat.
ずっと旅をしていたんですか？結構寝てた。久しぶりに起きたらケイトじゃなくてカチュアンに会ってびっくりしたぞ。
Ash demon bodies fed on dust. In the world where dust had decreased from the peak times, Namtar had to hibernate periodically. During that time, Kate became pregnant and the child grew up to be roughly the same age as Kate. Hang on a minute. Are you saying that Namtar slept for like 10 years or so? Namtar's like 15 at least. However old Kate was, Namtar's sense of time was random, but she was certainly surprised at the discrepancy between humans and herself.
よかったらこれから一緒に戻りませんか？お母さん、今一級錬金術師として在籍しているんです。ナムタルさんが会いに行ったらきっと喜ぶと思います。そっか、立派になったんだな。ナムタルも久しぶりにケイトに会いたいな。それじゃ。
Torchwood took Namtar's hand. A boy likely a scholar in the same year was stunned watching the two nearby. Since then, Namtar reunited with Kate again at the Magic Academy, which she had not visited for a long time. Kate was researching ways to communicate with Orr from the reactions of the Astarte. She discovered that her consciousness was dreaming. The gods' dream was clearly different from those of humans. If they could somehow resonate with it, perhaps they could find a way to communicate. Its theories were ridiculed for being too unrealistic, but she still had a strong desire to come in contact with Astarte. Kate knew. She knew the reason behind Namtar's disappearance. She understood her loneliness and wanted to do something for her friend. From there, Namtar headed to the border once again with the girls to prove Kate's theory and to meet and talk with Shin and Enri again. So like, if we never did Namtar's side story, we wouldn't get this. We wouldn't have got this. During their journey, they managed to come in contact with Astarte briefly, but the details had not been revealed. The Ash Demon Namtar would be the core of the plan to support Astarte, who was an element to travel between Soshi and Orr. But that will be a story in the future. Bro, just because there's going to be post-game. Oh, look guys, we're back to... Bro, that was so abrupt. But, let's see here. 100%, there it is, baby. Only 2 hours away from 100 hours, even though I've played over 100 hours. Definitely. But, you know, That isn't it. There's still more. First thing, is you know, maybe change the difficulty back. You know, just a thought. Don't worry, I'll get punished when I go through the game again on harder difficulty. But yeah. Look at all these crests. What a game. What a game. You like it? I mean, yeah. Go to clear settings screen. Unknown area. Look, hang on, what is this? Huh? Let me know your upcoming plans. Ah, right. Let's go to the title and at Free Dungeon 9. Well, first of all, this will go back to the title page. After watching, you can start New Game Plus starter. Okay. First, you wanted me to look at the CGs, right? So, there it is. Wow. But click it. I did click it. But here's something that I found out about when I was looking through the okay, well, there's one of them. When I was looking through the BGM tracks, right? Huh? Yeah, no. So you go through the BGM tracks, right? It's pretty normal, right? You go through them, you go right, and you know, this was the one I saw. Bro, they spoiled Celeste's CG. And then, you know, you go through more of it. You know, and I mean, okay, these two, they would have been grayed out before, but bro, you know, the rest of them are fine. It's just that this one, why did they have to use Celeste's CG? I can't even view it, bro. But yeah, I think that will be all. Not yet. No, wait. But I think that will be all for now.